Welcome to Nethermore. Can you remember back as far as the 21st of December? If you can, that was the last time Guiseley last featured in a match at home. It was a 2-2 draw with Altrincham, and since then, the weather has caused chaos as Yorkshire has been battered with rain. I'm Tim Richards, and I'm presenting the build-up today for Guiseley's home fixture against Worcester, and I'm joined by Tom.
Good afternoon, Tim.
So, Tom, you were at the proposed game postponed game 2 weeks ago. It was meant to play against Stalybridge. So, describe what happened there then?
Well, I think first of all the groundsman deserves credit because the pitch was in decent condition, but then heavy rain, and I mean really heavy rain for about an hour before the match, and it just left certain parts of the pitch unplayable. And I think just in the interest of player safety, the game had to be called off. It was disappointing because up till midday, I took a photo at midday, the pitch looked really good, but then heavy rain, more heavy rain, followed by a little bit more of rain, and the game had to be called off.
And obviously the big word surrounding now is frustrations. I mean, I've been frustrated wanting to go see Guiseley and not being able to. I mean, sure the fans are, and as well, what must Mark Bower be feeling not being able to get a game played?
Well, Mark was saying that, you know, how important home games are and how he couldn't believe his side haven't played in January, and that won't happen now in 2014 at Nethermore. And with the amount of, games that they had where they were winnable games, to now be in a position where you've got 5-6 games in hand on other teams, it could be a case of playing Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday for a few weeks, and that's going to be a big ask for the players.
Well, thankfully, despite it being really windy and the pitch being in a bit of a state, we have to say, the game is going ahead today. And Tom, you did catch up with Mark before the game, and you had a little chat with him. We'll hear that now.
Well, Mark, finally, it looks like Guiseley will play at Nethermore in 2014. It must be a relief.
Yeah, it's definitely, we're happy to be out there today, and hopefully we'll get the game on and the clouds stay away, and we can go out there, put a performance on and put some points on the board again, because it's frustrating when, especially your home games, your bread and butter, and the ones that you really target to get the most points out of. So not being able to play there for 7 weeks has been not ideal, but that's what we're being dealt with, and hopefully with the rearrangements we've got coming up on Tuesday nights, we can make the most of them and pick up points.
It's a good chance to get 3 points with Worcester, but they will be a tough side. Have you scouted them before?
Yeah, we've seen quite a bit on them. Obviously, it's not that long ago that we played them, but since, I think they were beaten quite heavily at Bradford Park Avenue a few weeks ago, and since then they made a couple of signings, and they won 4 from 5, including victories against Solihull, Altrincham and Colin Bay, all teams above us in the league, so we certainly won't be taking them lightly. It'll be a very difficult game. The conditions, with the pitch being very soft and the wind and potentially rain, can be a leveller. But we've got to go out if we apply ourselves properly, put in the required effort and work rate and commitment. Then the quality that we've got a good chance of getting something from it.
What did you take from the 2 defeats away from home, and is today a chance to rectify the mistakes that were made in them games?
Well, it's certainly an opportunity to pick up points again after missing out in the last couple of games. I felt we were unfortunate at Telford last week. Got ourselves in a winning position with 20 minutes to go. A few things transpired against us. Didn't feel we got the rub of the green with decisions and things like that, but you can't do anything about it. We're gonna, every team loses games. The best teams in the world lose games, and it's how you bounce back from it, and the reaction that you get from the players. And we've asked the players to go out there and put on a performance to get us the points, because at the end of the day today, 3 points is what we're after.
Getting a good squad and a big squad now, it's important, especially with 2 games in 2 days. Just what were your thoughts on that?
Well, the alternative was for the Ecclesall game to postpone the Harrogate game, which we didn't want to happen. So we'll just mix the squad up on Wednesday night, and certainly we won't be doing anything to jeopardise team selection on the Saturday. So the team picked for Wednesday will certainly be an experimental one, and hopefully be a good chance to get some of the academy boys involved and see how they're progressing.
Speaking of the team today, just what is the team you used for today?
We've obviously Danny Hall's out with his injury, and Reece Maynell's will be substitute today, so we were probably a little bit more of an attacking lineup than we've gone within the last couple of games. So hopefully that pays off for us, and we'll soon find out.
Thanks.
So that was Tom Feeney talking with manager Mark Bauer before the game. And Tom, as we said, there are some changes coming in today, so we'll just go through both teams' lineup, starting with the home side. Guiseley. In goal is Stephen Drench. Number 2 is Andy Holdsworth, Ben Parker, Ollie Johnson, Danny Ellis, Jake Lawler, Wayne Brooksby, Danny Boschel, Alex Johnson, Adam Boys, Gavin Rothery. And on the bench for the Lions is Kyle Harrison, Michael Potts, Danny Forrest, Reece Maynell and Stephen Dickinson. And for the visitors, Worcester City, in goal is Jose Vega, George Williams, Tyler Weir, Jamie Grimes, Graham Hutchinson, Aaron Brown, Daniel Nitty, Ellis Deeney the skipper, Ethan Moore, Ebby Nelson Addy and Stephen Leslie. So that completes the lineup. And on the bench for Worcester is Aaron Williams, Richard Munday, Christian Ramsey Dixon, Daniel Williams and Matt Bullman. So Tom, the Guiseley lineup, as we said, there are a few changes obviously for the good of the team after last week missing a few players. But what do you make of this lineup today?
Well, it's a really attacking lineup. When you look at the previous home game with Guiseley, of course, it was just Alex Johnson on his own, and now it's a 3-man attack. And you look at the quality of Ollie Johnson and Adam Boys and what they'll bring. Both have played at the professional level. Ollie Johnson has got a point to prove, and so has Boys. And if they can help, implement just what Alex Johnson, the good work he's done up front, then there's surely going to be a few goals today against Worcester.
And obviously last week there were question marks about the defence after Telford came from behind. Does it look like a solid defence today for you?
I think it does. I think against Telford last week it was a case that, Guiseley's defence was all right until the red card. It was quite a harsh red card as well. And, when you're playing a team like Telford, a professional outfit, they really will take advantage of playing against 10 men. They were able to, unfortunately, hopefully today, Guiseley can keep 11 men on the pitch. If they can do so, then surely it'll be 3 points, let's hope.
And obviously, moving away from the lineup then, as you spoke to Mark earlier about this crazy week we've got with 2 games in 2 days, it just does sum up the bizarre nature when the weather can play a part like this, doesn't it?
Well, yeah, I think, I'll be bringing my boots down to both games. You never know, I might get 10 minutes off the bench. But I do think, 2 big games really when you look at 2 local derbies. And against Harrogate Town, Mark really wanted this game to go ahead on Tuesday. If they can win that, they close the gap on Harrogate, and they'll be in a position as well where they're going to be closing the gap on the playoffs and obviously getting a game out of the way in hand with so many.
Yeah, well, Tom, you're going to bring your boots. I think I might as well. I think anyone could get a chance with the amount of games that we're going to have to play over the next few months. So it is crazy, and we can look at that now. Looking at the table in front of us, Guiseley at the moment are in 10th, Worcester are in 17th. They've played 4 games more than Guiseley, and they currently sit 6 points below them. So Worcester will be looking over their shoulder. So they're in a bit of a worrying position at the moment, especially with Oxford and Gloucester below them having games in hand. So Worcester for them, it's a must-win game, would you say? Yeah,
it is. But I think when you look at Worcester and the results they've gained against the big teams, they seem to play well against the big teams. When they're playing the sides in the lower half of the table, they've been drawing and losing. Against the sides in the playoffs and just below that, they seem to be getting the win. So I think, Mark's made it perfectly clear he is not taking Worcester for granted, and he knows that they'll have to be at the best to get the 3 points.
And for a Guiseley's perspective, looking at the table, currently in 10th, played 23. There's some teams above who have played 28, so it does show the mammoth task Guiseley have got, especially with cup games as well. They sit 13 points off 5th place Brackley. Obviously the target for the season, the ultimate aim would be the playoffs. But does it pose a problem now that they've got these catch-up games and they can see the teams above? Or Tom, do you think it's more of possibly maybe they could see their target there and go for that?
Well, I think you've got to have faith in the squad, and I think that's what Mark has. He's brought some reinforcements in, and he isn't afraid that the side's got 5 games in hand on some of the teams above them. It will be a case that Guiseley will be playing 2 games in a few days, but if they've got the good enough squad, as Mark says they have, if these new signings can impress, then Guiseley will get the points on the board and eventually, hopefully, get into the playoffs.
Okay, thanks, Tom. So we provided you our pre-match build-up, and obviously on Guiseley AFC radio here we've got full match commentary to come as the teams have come out. Guiseley in their white shirts, blue shorts and blue socks, and it is now time to hand over to our commentary team of Nick Keefe, but first Colin Robertson.
Thank you, Tim. Here we are at a blustery but very pleasant Nethermore this afternoon for the first home game, as I'm sure you've dwelt on plenty in the build-up since the 21st of December. 2 sides, as Tim was just saying, have now come out, led out by 2 mascots today, Elliot and Seth McGeechee, who are the mascots. Elliot's 9 and attends Roundhay St John's Primary School in Oakwood, and Seth is 6 and attends the same school. And they love Leeds United. They love Guiseley, obviously, but also it's a member of the Leeds United Academy Foundation. So wonderful to see these 2 leading the sides out. We'll just go down the 2 teams once again, in case you're just joining us. Guiseley are at the moment just getting into the swing of things. Warming up the 2 sides. Stephen Drench in goal for Guiseley. Andy Holdsworth, Ben Parker, Ollie Johnson in the number 4 shirt. Danny Ellis, Jake Lawler, Wayne Brooksby, Danny Boschel, Alex Johnson, Adam Boys and Gavin Rothery. Incredibly attacking looking lineup. Jose Vega, George Williams, Tyler Weir, Jamie Grimes, Graham Hutchinson, Aaron Brown, Daniel Untai, Ellis Deeney, Ethan Moore, Ebby Nelson Addy and Stephen Leslie for the visitors. Worcester, last time these 2 sides met, I think it was that wonderful 3-3 draw. I say wonderful. Guiseley down to 9 men after being 3-1 up. And quite an occasion. This afternoon we'll be looking for more than just the 1 point, won't we, Nick?
Yeah, we will. Good afternoon. Like you say, it's a very, very attacking lineup that he's gone for today, is Mark, and waiting to see how they line up formation-wise, really, because we know Ollie Johnson can play as a winger as well as a striker, so I suspect he might be wide. I expect Adam Boys will be through the middle, but obviously Alex Johnson can play a little bit wider as well. So whether it'll be a 4-4-2 with Johnson as one of the strikers, or whether it will be a 4-3-3 with Boys through the middle and Gavin Rothery playing in a deeper midfield position than we've seen throughout the season, yet to be seen. Slightly controversially at the beginning, though, the teams are changing ends, and this is, I'm not sure if this is a good or a bad omen, Colin, but it's very, very rare we see this, is that Guiseley will be kicking off towards the Otley Road end, defending the goal at the railway end, which has confused all the Guiseley fans who are lined up dutifully for their normal first half position. They look a bit put out, but obviously someone's won the toss and made a different call to usual there.
Yep, and quite right. You are seeing a change round in the ends. Guiseley in their usual white shirts, dark blue shorts and dark blue socks, playing a Worcester side playing in green shirts today, black shorts and green socks. Guiseley get the match underway, shooting towards the Bowling Green end. The ball up in the air at the moment, headed on by Stephen Leslie for Worcester on the halfway line. Up forward, but cut out well by Andy Holdsworth. Taken down now just on the halfway line here by Gavin Rothery. Nice triangular passing from Guiseley. Up towards the front man, Alex Johnson. Johnson now out to the width of Wayne Brooksby on the right-hand side. Guiseley just into the Worcester half. Worcester getting men behind the ball in the opening foray here. Holdsworth on the halfway line sends one long, and it goes over the head of Alex Johnson. That's easy for Jose Vega to take down. Bright start this from Guiseley.
It is, and I'll take back what I said, because it's actually Adam Boys who's lined up on the wide left. Obviously, Wayne Brooksby's the widest right, as you would expect. It looks more like a straighter 4-4-2 at the moment.
Cleared now as a long ball forward from Jose Vega, shown the benefit of the wind, flicked on, and Ethan Moore was looking to get on the end of it. It's been cleared out into touch for a throw into Worcester. Level with the 18-yard box, a sign that Worcester can get this ball into the Guiseley area quick with the conditions. Headed away now by Brooksby. Helped back in here by Leslie for Worcester. Flicked on onto the edge of the 18-yard box. Nobody able to get onto the end of it. Gavin Rothery dispossessed on the edge of the D now by Hutchinson. Into the area now as Worcester look to create a chance inside the 6-yard box. Aaron Brown was in acres of space. Couldn't get a connection onto it. And in the end it's out up to the 18-yard box, and Guiseley can recover possession here with Stephen Drench. But at 6s and 7s for a moment there as Worcester look to break open the scoring. Quickly on the counter-attack, Drench sends Alex Johnson away, but there's a flag up, and we can take a breather. Just catch your thoughts on that, Nick.
Well, it was slightly ponderous defending actually by Gavin Rothery, who started in whether it's 4-4-2 or whether it's 4-2-3-1, I'm not sure yet. But he and Danny Boschel are certainly the two central deepest midfielders, and that's maybe new or unfamiliar for Gavin Rothery, and stood with the ball on the edge of his box, looking around to pick a pass out. Just didn't have the time to spend doing that really, and created a dangerous situation. But that'll have made him realise he's not going to have lots of time on the ball in this position.
A long ball into the area once again. Danny Ellis has to deal with it. Only away as far as Nelson Addy. He nods on into the area. Guiseley clear. Now up to the halfway line where Wayne Brooksby takes over. Plays the ball into the feet of Boys. Boys just can't control it at the second attempt. And Worcester recover possession. Now they come down here with Williams down the right-hand side. Jake Lawler has to keep that one away from Ethan Moore. Does well actually, and sends it back to Stephen Drench. Drench clears. It goes into Worcester territory. Alex Johnson battling hard with Jamie Grimes for possession, but can't win that battle. Vega swiftly out of his area, knocks the ball out into touch. Picked up now by Rothery for Guiseley. Long one forward. Good ball. Looks for Alex Johnson. Just a few yards ahead of him. Vega collects.
It's been a pattern already. They've tried to get Johnson in behind the defence and not managed to spring the offside trap just yet, but vote of confidence, sending him out there as the number 9. He looks like he's leading the line there by himself with Johnson, Ollie Johnson, just behind him. Boys to the left, Wayne Brooksby on the right. So it is a 4-2-3-1, and that will have been a real fillip for Alex Johnson, who's seen 2 new strikers come in, and for his manager to pick him as the lone out-and-out striker, the position he's been playing so well in, shows what Mark Bauer thinks of him.
Such a strong wind here. Stephen Drench has just taken a goal kick. Hit touch with it really, and Worcester will recover possession, and the throw in inside the Worcester half, sent forward, flicked on by Leslie once again after Aaron Brown got a head onto it for Worcester. It's hanging around the halfway line now when Brooksby gets a rather fortunate opportunity to have a run down the right flank for Guiseley. Goes past his man, he's well tackled. And then the ball sent down here. And Nathan Moore is completely free down the left flank. He's beaten the offside trap. Goes down to the touchline. Gets it across the face of goal. Good touch there from Jake Lawler. Gavin Rothery just tries to do too much whilst defending inside his own area. But in the end is fortunate that Worcester concede a free kick against him. Guys, he can recover. But we're picked out there, Nick, by a simple ball over the back 4. And that could have been much worse.
That was alarming, wasn't it? And it's exactly what Worcester will be looking for today, to break against the home team when they start to push men forward. And there's a few words being had amongst the back 4 there, but in fairness, Gav Rothery was quick to hold his hand up and say again he'd tried to do, like you say, a little bit too much, take a little bit too much time, when really it just needed hoofing clear in that situation.
Well, to be fair, Rothery looks to be taking a holding midfield role alongside Danny Boschel. Not something he's characteristically used to.
No, as I say, he's not played deep like that this season. Ollie Johnson's got his number 10 sort of position just behind the out-and-out striker, and so it's going to take him a little while to get used to it, but he's alongside Danny Boschel, who's obviously a calm head and will be good to play alongside.
Tough conditions. Ollie Johnson gets onto this ball, plays it into Holdsworth. Holdsworth in towards Boschel. Guiseley down the right flank at the moment. Brooksby gets the ball into the area. Helped away. Was to get it up to the halfway line now. And now it's back here with Aaron Brown. He goes back to his own back line. Lofted long once again. Danny Ellis has to be alive to it. Brown gets the second phase of it, but launches a rather curious ball forward. Sort of a rugby-style clearance, trying to make the yards, and has won a throw for Guiseley just up by their corner flag, and Worcester look to pin them in.
Well, I'm sure he'll be looking at the wind for that, Will Aaron Brown, but he's a huge man, and I just don't think he knew his own strength there. His clearance sailed all the way down down to the corner flag, as you say.
Guys, he take the throw. Brooksby collects it, sends it back to Danny Ellis. Ellis tries to send it into the other half, but the wind catches it. In the end, it's knocked out by Worcester for a throw to Guiseley.
Maybe it was the wind's fault then last time as well.
The conditions certainly in Worcester's favour. Frustrating last Saturday as well with Telford. When we were down to 10, they had all of the conditions with them. And some might say the man in the middle as well, but that's a different story. Guiseley now bring the ball into the Worcester half, and Danny Boschel and Ben Parker decide who's going to take the throw. Parker does. Ball goes back to Jake Lawler. Guiseley have everybody in the Worcester half at the moment. They play a long one forward though by Danny Ellis. Headed clear and sent up towards the halfway line. Brown does well to muscle off Jake Lawler. Now he comes forward down the right-hand side. A great recovery tackle here from Jake Lawler. Super tackle on the halfway line. Sends the ball into Ollie Johnson. Now Johnson can have a bit of a run at this Worcester defence. He's tackled though this time. Gavin Rothery quickly across. Wins the ball back, but Brooksby's not in the position to collect it. And Worcester can clear all the way back to Stephen Drench, who's got time. If you're just tuning in, we've had, by my reckoning, about 8 minutes. Guiseley and Worcester locked at 0-0. If you're tuning in to listen from a Worcester perspective, we hope you enjoy the listening, if not the scoreline, and we will try and call it as we see it. Guiseley, in the meantime, just get the ball nodded forward and sent out into touch. And it's a throw-in to the home side in left-back position. It's a strange sort of start to this game. Both sides look like, when they go forward, look like they could cause the other problems. But the conditions certainly playing their part.
Well, Worcester are doing everything right so far. They're keeping plenty of men behind the ball. They're not pushing too high up, but they're not dropping very, very deep either. They're offering Alex Johnson the opportunity of trying to run in behind them, but I think they fancy themselves. The defenders fancy themselves for pace up against him. So they've set out exactly as you would hope as an away fan coming here today. And so there's a lot of work to be done in the middle of the park, trying to pick that perfect pass out that will unlock one of the defences.
Wayne Brooksby just feeds the ball down the right-hand side. It's earned a throw for Guiseley. And Andy Holdsworth takes it. It's midway through the Worcester half on the right-hand side. Gets the ball returned to him, puts it in towards the area. Grimes muscles off Alex Johnson, but Guiseley win the throw as the clearance from Grimes bounces off Tyler Weir and goes behind for a Guiseley corner on the right-hand side as they attack the Worcester goal here. Still goalless with 9 minutes gone. Lions with a corner on the right-hand side. Ball swept in towards Danny Ellis. It gets ahead. It's cleared off the line. Guiseley almost break the deadlock there. Danny Ellis header cleared off the line, and Worcester can counter-attack. Seems to be a bit of a hard tackle on Rothery that's not picked up. Leslie coming forward. Great tackle from Andy Holdsworth. Stands across Leslie brilliantly and makes the all-important interception. Guiseley recover possession inside their own half. Just take time to knock the ball around. It's spread out wide towards Wayne Brooksby. It's intercepted by Williams, but Brooksby picks it up, sends it towards Alex Johnson. Johnson's just blocked by Hutchinson. Can't get past him. And now Guiseley have a bit of defending to do. And Jake Lawler has picked up for a tackle he makes on Ethan Moore. Well, it looks a bit soft, that, to me, but Guiseley have conceded a free kick inside the centre circle.
Well, I'm not sure about that. That looked like Jake Lawler's second brilliant challenge on the deck of the first half, but the referee's seen it differently, and Worcester start just inside the Guiseley half, don't they?
It's a good chance again with this wind behind them for them to get the ball into the area. Not surprisingly, the green shirts are lining up on the edge of the D. They've got everyone in the Guiseley half, even though the free kick's only a few yards in. The ball's played into the area. Danny Ellis watches that so well. So good in the areas, Danny Ellis. He knows where the ball's going to land. Nods it out into touch. Worcester have the throw, though. Tyler Weir, the fullback, comes up to take the throw, about level with the 18-yard box on the left side. Played in towards the goal line. And eventually Guiseley clear their lines, get the ball up to the halfway line. Alex Johnson looks, for it. The ball's headed into the stand here. Ellis Deeney nods it computer way. Fortunately for us, it's intercepted. And guys, get the throw. Wayne Brooksby battles and wins it on the halfway line. Takes it down this right-hand side with a good run. Plays it into the feet of Johnson. Takes it down well, does Ollie Johnson. Tries to flick it in towards Alex Johnson. And in the end, Worcester clear. Only as far as Danny Boschel. Ball in towards Adam Boys now. Gavin Rothery picks it up. Plays a little ball in here to Ollie Johnson. Skips past one man, but two around him very quickly. He does well. He claims there's a foul on him. Referee doesn't agree. Worcester clear. And Stephen Drench has to come out of his goal into a full-back position for a moment. Takes the throw and gives it to Andy Holdsworth. I've never seen the goalkeeper come out to take the throw before. It's a quick one forward from Holdsworth. Boys was looking for it. It's cleared by Worcester once again, though, into Guiseley's half, where Jake Lawler sends it into touch with a good interception. Still goalless, 12 minutes gone between these two, and it's been an interesting start.
It has both teams looking dangerous, and but both teams looking quite well organised as well. So I think the playing surface is going to deteriorate as the afternoon goes on. But right now, it's allowing really good football.
Ollie Johnson just playing a lovely little touch with Wayne Brooksby. Now comes down the right-hand side into the penalty area. Goes past one man, goes to the goal line, gets the ball across the face of the goal. Well saved by Vega. Behind him was Alex Johnson lurking, looking just to get on the end of the cross. And Guiseley almost undo Worcester, and Worcester now come on the counter-attack. Danny Ellis has to put in a smart interception after Ethan Moore turned Jake Lawler, who was almost through on goal, but a great tackle there from Danny Ellis. And now it goes down the other end. Gavin Rothery sends it forward, looking for Alex Johnson. Once it's returned, Worcester have a chance to attack. It's Brown. He tries to go past Gavin Rothery. Good tackle from Rothery that time. And picked up now by Brooksby. In towards Danny Boschel. Nobody getting any space on the ball. Boschel now has options to his right in Andy Holdsworth. Takes it. Holdsworth plays a loose ball. Worcester tried to get the ball upfield quickly. Find Moore. Moore just inside the Guiseley half. Now they get bodies forward. Nelson Addy plays one over into the right flank, but it's gone beyond everyone. Well, that's easy for Stephen Drench to collect. And these last few minutes actually, apart from the odd counter-attacking moments, look much more likely that Guiseley are going to break down the Worcester back line. Great tackle now by Gavin Rothery to take the ball away from Brown. Size, no problem in that instance, because Brown's a big unit. Rothery got stuck into him. Guiseley come forward now with Brooksby. About 30 yards from goal. Brooksby's dispossessed. Beaten by Nelson Addy. Sent forward, looking for the feet of Ethan Moore. But it's gone beyond him and into the hands of the goalkeeper. And Guiseley now work the ball out from the back line. With Gavin Rothery coming over the halfway line. Out right here to Andy Holdsworth. Looking for Alex Johnson, the two not on the same wavelength though. And it's easily picked up by Worcester. Sprayed out towards Ben Parker for him to intercept and clear into the Worcester half. And then returned back by Worcester and knocked out into touch for a throw-in to the visitors.
I suspect this is the best football we'll get this afternoon, because both teams are trying to play it on the floor. It's very conscious of the wind that's taking high balls away from their intended targets. But as we say, the pitch will cut up as the afternoon goes on, and obviously forecast for heavy rain as well later in the game. So this is the time when guys will want to be playing to their strengths of moving it around quickly out to the wide men and trying to get in behind the defence. Because after that, I suspect it's going to be a little bit of a lottery once the surface and the rain change.
Well, the rain was due to come about 2 in the forecast I saw earlier. You maybe saw a later forecast, but we certainly haven't had any, have we?
No, I think the heavy rain was supposed to be about 4 o'clock, around the start of the second half. But you're right, it was supposed to have been raining at least some by now. So maybe we'll get lucky. Maybe this will be it for the game. But it's good because it's forcing both teams to try and play it on the deck.
Well, guys have just won a free kick. Let's hope we do get lucky. We haven't had much luck really with the weather. Alex Johnson's just been hauled down by Graham Hutchinson. It's about 30 yards from goal. It's on the left-hand side of the penalty area if you were to look directly at it. And along comes Wayne Brooksby to see if he can line up the free kick. Guys are getting bodies onto the edge of the 18-yard box. This looks like Brooksby's going to cross this one in. still goalless here. And the Lions looking to make the first mark on the goals this afternoon with this free kick. Wayne Brooksby plays the ball into the area. It goes beyond everyone. Has to be saved by Joseph Vega. A good save in the end because Adam Boyes just failed to make the connection that Vega would have been expecting. And then as it bounced away from him, he got down to his left and just got enough on the ball to put it behind for a corner.
Absolutely right, Colin. He only had a split second to adjust to go and save the ball as it was going from Brooksby, not as he was expecting to be headed across him or tapped across him by Boyes.
Corner comes in, up towards Jake Lawler, headed away. Back only as far as the taker, which is Brooksby. Brooksby plays it back here to Boschel. Boschel sends it into the area, high into the air, then comes down, but well watched by Vega, and he claims it inside the 6-yard box.
He's a good keeper, actually, Vega. We've seen him quite a lot over the last few years here, I think, and every time he's come, he's impressed me, and I usually stand behind the goal and get a good view of what a keeper's like. He's a very organised keeper.
Leslie now with the ball for Worcester. He got in the end of it, and Ty did some good work down the left-hand side, played it into Leslie, but his cross caught by the wind, and I think that ball's on its way to Leeds Bradford Airport at the moment. It was sent for takeoff, and we'll just have to wait for another ball to come on. So if you're just joining us, still goalless here on Guiseley AFC Radio. We have had about 18 minutes of this first half. Chances for both sides to score in blustery conditions. If you're tuning in, want to make any comments to us, we're at Guiseley Radio on Twitter. We'll try and follow your tweets. Read them out if they're clean. Or even if they're funny. And not clean. No, we won't do that.
Mine are rarely either.
No, we'll not be reading any of yours out, Nick. Worcester have a throw. Tyler Weir now for the visitors with the ball halfway into Guiseley's territory on the halfway line, on the left-hand side of the pitch, rather. The ball's played forward by Weir, and it's gone out for another throw. This time Weir can take one about level at the edge of the 18-yard box. Recovers the ball as Guiseley eventually defend it well. Ollie Johnson just helping it up here to Alex Johnson. Johnson's completely bundled over by Jamie Grimes. And the home crowd, as you can imagine, are a little bit upset about that. But it was quite some challenge there from the back of him, wasn't it, Nick? The resultant free kick, by the way, has just been taken poor by Holdsworth back to the goalkeeper.
Yeah, I'm kind of a little bit lost for words, really, on how a defender would think that was an okay way to to mark a striker. So
he's so good at getting his back into the defender, though, and allowing the defender to come through.
And what he's great at is that he doesn't react. I suspect a lot of players, having been clopped in the back of the head like that, would have probably swung an elbow out or something as they got up. But he doesn't. He never reacts to it, which is a good temperament to have.
Leslie now picked up the ball there for Guiseley. Good tackle from Danny Ellis. It's just knocked the ball out into touch once again. Worcester making some headway down this left-hand side. Leslie certainly impressed in the opening moments of this game, as has Brown. He's going to try and get this one crossed into the area. It's been blocked. And it's gone out for a throw. It's Tyler Weir who takes it once again. No bounce on the ball down in that left-hand side. His cross is cut out by Danny Boschel. He's got three players around him. Boschel has to find touch once again. A throw into Worcester. Yeah,
Worcester have learnt the lesson, though. No getting to the byline and then trying to cut it across into the box. They know it will get taken behind by the wind now, so they're having to work it in along the ground, short crosses and short passes.
Another throw that Weir takes, finds Leslie. Good muscling tackling from Brooksby, actually. And then Andy Holdsworth is cleared, but not very convincingly, out into touch once again. A few of his balls this afternoon haven't really found their destination.
Yeah, his interventions in defence, his timing and his tackling has been brilliant so far, but his passing's been a little bit off.
Now, ball into the edge of the 18-yard box by Worcester. Once again, looking to make some headway down this left. Leslie crosses, finally hangs up in the air, nodded down by Brown, and Ty gets on the end of it. An overhead kick that rather acrobatically, he doesn't even go behind in the end. It scoops up into the air, and guys, you have to clear it out for another throw. Worcester will take it from the right-hand side this time. George Williams, the full-back, comes forward to take, about level with the penalty spot. This looks like it's going to be a long one. Williams takes a step back, launches this one into the area. It's good as a corner. Jake Lawler has to head clear. It's headed goal-bound, actually, by Gavin Rothery or Danny Boschel, one of the two. But in the end, it's claimed comfortably by Stephen Drench. But a good long throw there from Williams, and that'll be a threat. Johnson and Grimes collide. Referee's not impressed this time. Waves play on. Andy Holdsworth collects the ball on the halfway line from Danny Boschel. And Guiseley just knocking the ball about a bit here. Jake Lawler over the centre circle now. He's got plenty of options forward. Plays it down the left-hand channel. Boyes goes chasing after it. Williams is there ahead of him. Boyes battles with it. Wins it off. Williams goes into the penalty area, then plays a poor ball. He could have picked out Alex Johnson, but instead played it straight through the defender. And a chance here for Worcester to counter-attack. Cut out well by Gavin Rothery. And Guiseley can now start another attack down this left-hand side. Rothery into the feet of Ollie Johnson. Ollie Johnson plays it forward into Rothery once again. Rothery goes down under a challenge from Ellis Deeney. No free kick, but a throw to Guiseley. It'd be great to have a long throw expert in the side at the moment. Instead, it's shortly taken by Ben Parker, and Rothery can't control, and Worcester can clear up towards Ethan Moore. Moore takes it down well, skips over the halfway line, tries to go past Jake Lawler, does so. Lawler makes a fantastic tackle in recovery and gets it up to the halfway line, but Worcester recover it now with Untie, plays the ball in towards Tyler Weir. Helped away now by Guiseley towards Alex Johnson. So, yeah, another poor ball forward. And it's hit touch once again for Worcester.
Third great challenge of the game for Jake Lawler, as you say, that time running at full pace. You know, he was coming from behind the striker, caught up with him, and then timed the challenge perfectly to win the ball. And already earning his place in the team, having been picked, and Parker moving out to left back today, Mainel on the bench, and showing why he was chosen.
Now Guiseley go chasing down the right-hand side, and Alex Johnson doesn't win that one, and the ball goes behind for a goal kick. I have to say the wind is causing us no amount of problems up here. We are holding on to our equipment, so to speak. As
computer equipment.
As the blustering conditions even affect us up here in the stand. Picked up now by Andy Holdsworth, sent forward, looking for Alex Johnson. Nodded away by Worcester. They come out now with Stephen Leslie up to the halfway line. He's looking for options ahead of him. Plays it towards Moore on the left channel. But Danny Ellis is alive to the danger and launches it clear into touch.
Yeah, the wind's extraordinary. We have all our equipment velcroed to the benches here in the media area, but the laptop screen is shaking up and down, and your phone almost went flying there, didn't it? So, goodness knows what it must be like trying to play in this.
Worcester have the ball now. Still goalless if you're just joining us. Between these two, Guiseley and Worcester. The Lions have had their chances, so have Worcester. Can't think of a many clear-cut certain goal-scoring positions, but there've been a few real half chances. The best for Worcester was perhaps the one that fell to Aaron Brown inside the 6-yard box, but he just didn't connect with it at all. And then Ollie Johnson did really well for Guiseley, played the ball across the face of goal, but Jose Vega was really alive to the danger and plucked the ball out of the air in the 6-yard box before I think it was Wayne Brooksby who was waiting at the back post could get to it. Conditions certainly playing their part, but the pitch is holding up very well. Guys, you're now with the ball with Jake Lawler inside their own back line and their own half. Plays it out to Andy Holdsworth. Brown closes him down quickly. So guys, he can't get out of their own half at the moment. The wind in Worcester's favour. Well, it's hard to say really when you've got the wind behind you. As you've seen, it's caused them as many problems when they've been playing balls forward as much as it's aided them.
Well, they've got the height advantage. They've got a lot of tall midfielders, and they'd have been looking to make the most of that in the first half with the wind behind them.
Now Worcester come forward here with Nelson Addy. He gets the ball out to the right-hand side where Ntai's looking for it. It's cleared by Ben Parker. It's going to be another throw. It means that George Williams can loft one into the box if he decides to go long, which he looks like he will do. We had to face a long throw in Matthew McGinn last weekend from Telford. He launched quite a few into the area. It was actually the conditions that stopped him doing it, but it was such a dangerous technique if you've got it. It's a long one into the area once again. Believe it or not, at Eccleshill, they've got a player there. I went to see them a few weeks ago when we were called off. They've got a player there who can throw a ball further than I've ever seen anyone
Really?
throw balls. So on Wednesday night, if that game goes ahead, weather permitting, and if he's playing, watch out for the long throw specialist.
Yeah, I was meaning to say, public forum and everything. I'm officially ruling myself out of contention for Wednesday night. I know a lot of people are saying they're bringing the boots with them. I don't want Mark to feel pressured into to picking me, so I'm ruling myself out nice and early.
Oh no, that's you, Tom, and Tim so far, isn't it?
No, they're bringing the boots down. They fancy a chance. That's why I'm ruling myself out, because they'll be before me in the queue.
If any one of you played, I don't think I'd even bother turning up to watch.
Refunds all round.
Not missing anything. Guiseley, you've got the ball on the halfway line. It's with Ben Parker. He lays it back here to Jake Lawler. So with Danny Ellis just inside the Guiseley half. All the Lions are currently in the Worcester half. Ellis on the halfway line. Plays it up towards Alex Johnson. Good defending again by Grimes. And once again, Worcester clear their lines very well. Guiseley just looking a little bit lacking in ideas in the final third at the moment. Brooksby now picks up the ball. Plays it into Ollie Johnson. Just a little bit ahead of him. The passing not quite coming together. And now Worcester can counter-attack. Ben Parker using his years of experience to take the ball away from Daniel and Ty and make sure that he wins a throw and sends it back to Stephen Drench. It's just not working for us at the moment, is it, in the last 5 minutes or so?
Well, it's quite a new-looking team. Ollie Johnson looks full of ideas. I mean, if he can carry on trying tricks like that for 90 minutes, just little back heels and sideways flicks and things to bring people in, then you'd think sooner or later one of those is going to make an unexpected opportunity. But at the moment, perhaps just because he and Boys and Alex Johnson and Brooksby are also new to each other, they're not quite managing to piece the final bit together to actually carve out that goal-scoring opportunity that they need.
Guys, in that whole of your summary there, guys, his back line was just knocking the ball between each other, looking for an option to go forward. Goes up towards Alex Johnson, eventually, and Jamie Grimes, rather cheaply from his point of view, goes through the back of Alex Johnson, and they're upset about that at Worcester.
Well, I don't know why, because Alex Johnson's had another good knock in the back of the head there, and you expect to get those as a striker playing with your back to goal, but I don't see how you can argue it as a defender that it isn't a foul.
It's poor defending, actually, if anything. Ellis Deeney's protesting. Referee's waving it away. It's a chance here for Guiseley, nonetheless, to get the ball forward. They've got the free kick. It's central, sort of midway through the Worcester half. Bang centre in that half of the field. Taken by Wayne Brooksby. Again, it's overhit. Gone beyond everyone and easy for Vega to collect. Disappointing end to that move. The clearance is cut out by Ben Parker and then sent down the left-hand side. Vega's out of the goal. Makes a good clearance as a temporary right back. Guys who recover the ball on the halfway line with Boys, but Boys plays a sloppy ball, almost lets Brown in, but it just bounced over, took a wicked bobble over the foot of Brown. Now Guys, he can come down the right-hand side. Holdsworth plays the ball into the area towards Brooksby, right on the edge of the goal area, plays it back to Holdsworth. Holdsworth takes it past his man, goes to the goal line, gets it down, a good cross, right across the face of the 6-yard box, but evades everyone. Boys wasn't able to get the head on it. Alex Johnson picks it up at the other side. Back now to Danny Boschel. Boschel square here to Rothery. Rothery could fancy a shot from this distance. He does, deflects off Deeney. Brooksby, out now to Holdsworth. Holdsworth takes it back here to Wayne Brooksby. Brooksby sort of 20 yards from goal on the right-hand side. Plays it infield towards Alex Johnson. Well cut out, though. And, guys, his attacking impetus has come to an end. And Worcester can take it away with and tie, but it's a poor ball from the Worcester man. And it's gone out for a throw into Guiseley.
Yeah, just had a bit too long to think there, didn't he, Wayne Brooksby? He's a player who's at his best, I think, when he's on instinct, and given the chance to stop and have a look at all of his options, he just couldn't decide one. It was a bit of a limp end to the move, really.
So 31 minutes gone. Guiseley and Worcester still goalless. Was goalless in the earlier fixture this between these two down at Kidderminster. So we've yet to see a goal between these two sides. Guiseley now looking to correct that with Ollie Johnson. Comes over the centre circle. Skips past a man, showing some great trickery. Just can't find a outlet. Plays it into Wayne Brooksby. Brooksby's ball out towards Andy Holdsworth is beyond him and out into touch. And it's a frustrating end again to the move. I feel the pitch and the conditions and the wind are certainly playing having their toll on these moves. The attacking move forward for both sides.
Yeah, well, we're starting to see one or two alarming bobbles in the pitch where kind of clods of earth have come out of the ground and are blocking the ball. As we hear the roof blocking the ball from a landing in us here in the commentary box, but. Obviously, guys have just got to adapt to the conditions, and because all of the action has been around the edge of the Worcester area so far, if they can do that in the second half, of course, that bit of the pitch is relatively unscuffed so far. So the first 15 minutes of the second half, unless conditions change dramatically, then guys have got a better chance of getting these clever balls around the edge of the box to actually come off.
It's a strong wind. It's not as strong as the game in which Wally made his return when he pulled back those 3 goals in the second half.
Was that the Droylsden one?
Droylsden, yeah. 4-3, I think it was, wasn't it? One of the best games of football.
It was extraordinary that day. Well, hopefully we won't be 3-0 down at half-time today.
I hope not. I don't think I could take it. Andy Holdsworth comes over the halfway line now for Guiseley. Nice one too with Wayne Brooksby. Plays it forward towards Alex Johnson. Johnson gets a nice touch out here too, Brooksby. Brooksby just wanted to feed it through to Holdsworth, but he was tackled at the all-important time by Tyler Weir. Tyler Weir now comes to the halfway line. Plays it out towards Ntai. Well watched by Ben Parker. Man, I do think is unlucky in all of this is Rhys Maynell. He's been, unfortunately, he's done a super job for me at left-back. But Ben Parker showing why he's keeping him out of the side there with a great header back to the goalkeeper.
Absolutely, there's a few good players. Rhys Maynell's one, Jake Lawler and Alex Johnson potentially are others. People who've been playing well, and then people from higher divisions have come in those positions and provided competition. And the good thing is that Rhys and Jake, when they've been in the team, have earned their way back in a lot of the time. They've started a lot despite these kind of higher prestige names arriving at the club. I guess Alex Johnson has to do the same, and he's acquitting himself well there, playing in front of Ollie Johnson so far today.
Gavin Rothery now with the ball for Guys. He plays the ball in towards the edge of the 18-yard box. Just a move there that was accompanied by some good work there from Ollie Johnson in the build-up play. Guys, now have to get back into defensive mode. They've got 4 players upfield here. And Worcester come forward. Now with Nelson Addy. Plays it into the feet of Ntai, but and Guiseley win possession. Good tackle from Gavin Rothery, now picked up by Ollie Johnson. Ollie Johnson plays a good ball in here to Alex Johnson. Johnson goes towards the goal, but out comes Vega really swiftly off his line and intercepts Alex Johnson, a good 30 yards out from his goal.
Brilliant goalkeeping by Vega. He was so quick off his line. Something Stephen Drench is very good at as well, and Guiseley fans listening will know what we're describing, but he came a long way from home quickly and then made a real strong challenge. If he'd not won it, that would have been an almost certain goal for Alex Johnson through with nobody in between him and the goal.
Well, we've just got a free kick because Wayne Brooksby, who's having his hand held, shall we say, by Stephen Leslie on a couple of occasions. Referee tried to let it go.
For you to describe.
And eventually Leslie's pulled him down and a free kick's been given. Referee Glenn Hart this afternoon calling that one right. Free kick to Guys. It goes into the penalty area. Headed down here and taken away by George Williams. A long one forward is a good ball from Williams. Well watched again by Ben Parker because it was looking for Ethan Moore, and Moore was swift to follow the flight of the ball, but Parker shadowed him with perfection. And now Guys, you have the ball here with Ollie Johnson down the left-hand side. He's trying a few tricks to get past Ntai and lays it back to the halfway line where Jake Lawler will collect. And now Danny Ellis. Danny Ellis out to the right-hand side here with Andy Holdsworth. Holdsworth got 3 men in the box, plays the ball into the area, finds Alex Johnson. Johnson can't control. And this time Grimes wins that battle that those two are having. And Brown gets the ball in the halfway line as Worcester look to make a counter-attack. A poor ball from Brown. Comfortable for Stephen Drench. Counter-attacking movement breaks down once again. As we head towards the end of this first half, Guiseley and Worcester are locked goalless. 36 minutes gone. Danny Boschel now loses the possession rather cheaply in the Worcester half, and now Brown can come forward with the ball for the visitors. Plays it square into the feet of Nelson Addy. Nelson Addy's got he's got the captain Deeney, who takes a shot from distance. Deeney's left-footed drive was easily claimed by Stephen Drench, and the ball's returned into Worcester's half and eventually claimed by Wayne Brooksby, who's played well in this first half and does very well to nutmeg Nelson Addy and then come into the Worcester territory down this left flank. He's looking for options in the box if he can get the ball in here. He's got Deeney shadowing him, goes back to Ben Parker. Parker tries to turn his man, plays the ball in towards Brooksby, but in the end it's well defended. Gavin Rothery claims the second phase of the passage of play, comes down this left-hand side and himself is well tackled and then surely will concede a free kick. He's taking a piggyback ride on Nelson Addy, I think it was, and referee stops play and it's a free kick to Worcester.
It's another move for Guiseley that hasn't quite made it into the very final 12 yards of or 18 yards of the pitch, and as the second half approaches, they're going to be aware that they have to make one or two of these attacking moves stick. Otherwise, Worcester are going to continue to grow in confidence.
Well, the free kick from Worcester inside their own half was sent long, as you might expect with this win, but defeats everyone. It's been an interesting game. It's not been a thrilling game. It's goalless at the moment, as he's shown some good passages of play, but not really had any killer instinct in that final third as yet. Neither have Worcester, really. And just as in the first game at Kidderminster, these two sides are locked at 0-0, and there's no real sign that that's going to change.
It's a game of two very well organised, strong defences, and defenders are at the top of their games. They're making the challenges at the right moments. They're seeing people onto the correct weaker foot when they've got them running at them. It's good to watch, but at the moment, neither team looks like unlocking the opposition's back line, and I guess we can, as English football fans, we can probably enjoy a bit of good defending every so often, but it wouldn't hurt to have a goal before half-time either, would it?
It's not exactly Catenaccio, that's fair. But at the moment, Worcester are in possession on the halfway line with Brown. Look like they're going to just turn the tide of the game into Guiseley territory. And good work here from Nelson Addy. Gets the ball to the touchline on the halfway line. Plays it infield to Deeney. Deeney plays it back towards Nelson Addy. Guiseley defend it well. And it's gone all the way back to the goalkeeper, Jose Vega. We've got, by my reckoning, 39 minutes gone, and Vega takes the clearance. Alex Johnson steps across, waiting for the ball to go down. I think Johnson's going to get a card for that.
Oh, for goodness sake.
Oh, ridiculous. Oh, dear, dear, dear. Referee's shown a card to Alex Johnson. What he did was a sort of that George Best moment where he blocked the keeper from taking the clearance. I know they have to give that as a foul now, which is in its own right a bit debatable because he's dropped the ball and he's launched the clearance, but he kind of stood across him, and I see no reason for a booking there, Nick.
Well, he's not blocked him dropping it out of his hands or something like that, which I think that is a bit off really and does deserve a yellow card, but that's just farcical really.
A really poor decision there, but never mind. Guiseley have a throw in inside their own half after the clearance. Glenn Hart getting that one wrong. It's got difficult conditions today for the referee to deal with, to be fair, but that was just a basic error. Now Boschel plays it forward looking for Adam Boyes, but again it just goes the wrong side of Boyes. Ellis heads it upfield, flicks back, almost for a moment looked like Ollie Johnson might capitalise, but nothing seems to be settling either way for the front men of both sides. And rather cheap free kicks given against Danny Boschel, against Daniel Ntai.
I think he actually did just accidentally clip the back of his heel as the ball went away from him there. It certainly wasn't deliberate, but I can see that as a Worcester free kick that time.
Worcester do have a free kick on the halfway line, which does mean they've got a chance to pressurise this Guiseley goal because the wind's behind them. A long ball forward, well played to Leslie into Brown, but Leslie just catches himself offside. I think that's possibly debatable. Nonetheless, Guiseley quickly take the free kick and they look to counter-attack. It's up here towards Boys. Boys hasn't particularly had a chance to shine in this first half. Did very well against Telford. Some of his first touches were brilliant against Telford in difficult conditions. Ollie Johnson has impressed, like he did again against Telford. Plays the ball into the area, looking for the on-rushing Gavin Rothery. Beaten to it, and the ball's hoofed back into Guiseley's half. Stephen Drench with the ball at his feet. Plays it out towards Ben Parker. Ben Parker's been robbed for a moment by Ntai, but recovers well as the wind gets up in Worcester's favour and the rain starts to fall. Clearance now from Guiseley goes up towards Alex Johnson. It's helped away, and then Stephen Leslie makes an interception, but again can only hit touch, and it's out for a throw. 42 minutes gone. Guiseley and Worcester still goalless. And we have a few minutes to go before the break and a cup of tea. And that will bring some respite to the cold and the wind and the beginnings of the rain. As yet we haven't any goals to warm ourselves with either. Neither side have. Jake Lawler back to Stephen Drench. Drench a long one forward, looking for Ollie Johnson just over him. The bounce of the ball takes the ball away from Boschel, and then a quick piece of play there from Deeney. Tried to lob the goalkeeper. Drench was just alive to it, but it was very intelligent play there from the Worcester captain, almost catching Guiseley out. Now Guiseley come forward here with Ollie Johnson. Johnson brings the ball in field. Square now to Danny Boschel. Boschel's outfield, out towards Adam Boys. Boys is beaten to it once again. Into Guiseley's half where Jake Lawler takes it down. The wind really getting up here against Guiseley, making it hard for them to move forward. Gavin Rothery runs with the ball. Infield square now to Ollie Johnson. Ollie Johnson's brilliantly dispossessed. A super tackle that from maybe Nelson Addy. And now Worcester can come away. Nelson Addy, who made that challenge, comes forward now, just goes over the centre circle. He's got options to his right and left. Goes to right for Ntai. Ntai has to run to keep that in play. Plays it back. It's cut inside by Williams. And then eventually Guiseley clear with Jake Lawler helping it up to Alex Johnson. Alex Johnson's got a man with his arms in his back, but referee waves play on because Johnson's done well. Helped it out here to Andy Holdsworth. Good referee in there. Just let things go. Holdsworth now has options ahead of him. Square into Ollie Johnson. Good ball from Ollie Johnson. Finds Gavin Rothery. Can Gavin Rothery get into the penalty area? He can. He gets a shot away. Beats the goalkeeper, but just past the uprights and behind for a goal kick. But good football. Good movement from Guiseley. Well played on from the referee, and almost the first goal of the game.
Yeah, absolutely what we've been talking about from Ollie Johnson throughout the first half. Interesting little passes, first touch flicks and bringing people into play. And what he did there was he brought on the overlapping Gavin Rothery, who had the chance to run, and he was just being kind of pushed towards the right-hand edge of the box, and he's gone for the far post. Now, somewhere between a cross and a shot is how it worked out. It was only half a yard wide of the post, but it was just slightly not square enough to catch the onrushing Alex Johnson.
1 minute of added time. Guiseley 0, Worcester 0. Heading towards tea time. Perhaps the best chance for Guiseley to have got a goal, just handing a couple of minutes ago with that Gavin Rothery shot from distance. Got the ball up towards Alex Johnson now. Worcester and Guiseley sort of completely missing out midfield at the moment. Now Brown gets the ball from the long clearance. Gavin Rothery just steps across and takes it away. Doing a good job in that defensive midfield role, and also not restricting himself and still coming forward and causing threat. Picks it up now here. Rothery square now into the feet of Brooksby. Brooksby charges forward. He's tackled from behind, surely a free kick. Not too much of a contact from Nelson Addy, but a correct decision from the referee.
Yeah, that one I thought was a foul. I think some of them have been 50-50, but I think that one was fair. But a farcical outcome from the free kick.
Well, Brown was stood about 2 yards away when he was trying to take the free kick, and the referee actually said play on. That just doesn't make any sense whatsoever. Now,
so the referee's saying that because he's chosen to take the free kick with Brown 2 yards away from him, then it's Guiseley's loss. But I don't see how that makes sense. It's the referee's job, surely, to enforce the 10-yard rule.
well, a couple of moments there, and Ty was just brought down as well on the right-hand side. And I think he had a claim, to be fair, that there was a free kick in that, but the referee just seemed to switch off for a moment there. Strange moments after an interesting first half. Nonetheless, the half-time whistle has gone. There's a couple of players around Glenn Hart and his team, Ian Quinn and Paul Newhouse, just asking a few questions about that free kick and about the final foul that wasn't to be on the right-hand side on Daniel and Ty. As the break comes to us, Guiseley and Worcester are goalless. They gave a few chances, half chances. Perhaps Gavin Rothery might have scored just before the break with a shot that just went wide. But at half-time here, it's Guiseley 0, Worcester 0. And with that, we'll hand you back to our half-time team of Tom Feeney and first Tim Richards.
Thanks, Colin. Really exciting first half. Not many chances for both teams, clear-cut chances, really. But Guiseley have come close. Ellis's header cleared off the line early on. Since then, we've had some great skill from Ollie Johnson, who's looked really lively. Vegas had to tip away a few saves. Gavin Rothery, just before half-time there, having a fantastic chance. So Guiseley, as we say, at half-time 0-0 here at home against Worcester City. And we'll bring you some scores from around the other grounds. We have got some Skrill North games to come up, but we'll start with the Premier League as the early kick-off. It's an absolutely crazy score. The leaders, Arsenal, lost 5-1 at home to Liverpool. Liverpool winning 5-1. Martin Skirtle getting 2 goals. Raheem Sterling another 2. And Daniel Sturridge completing the rout with a Mikel Arteta penalty, providing surely no consolation for Arsenal there. A crazy scoreline early on, but Liverpool winning 5-1 in that game earlier on. And the half-time scores in the Premier League so far are Aston Villa 0, West Ham United 0. It's Chelsea 2, Newcastle 0. Eden Hazard with 2 goals for Chelsea, doing really well so far there. Crystal Palace, under the revival of Tony Pulis, are 2-0 up at home to West Bromwich Albion. It's Norwich City 0, Manchester City 0. Southampton 2, Stoke City 2. Southampton taking the lead twice there, but Stoke pegging them back both times. And a goal-filled first half. And 10-man Sunderland are 1-0 down at home to Hull City. Fantastic first half there for a Hull perspective, with Shane Long scoring the only goal of the game. And the late kick-off today, obviously you might want to catch that, is Swansea City v Cardiff City, the local Welsh derby there. But we'll go to the rest of the grounds as we're trying to keep warm as possible here, as it's getting colder and colder. Reminder is we have half-time here, it's Guiseley 0, Worcester City 0. But in the Championship, we've got to talk about the early game, as Leeds United, amongst all the madness that's going on there, have managed a 2-1 win away from home at Yeovil Town. A really encouraging result there for Leeds, as it can't be easy there with everything going on, but a Ross McCormack goal and a Warnock winner for Leeds gave them all 3 points. The rest of the half-time scores, we'll run through those in the Championship, is Barnsley 1, Ipswich Town 0, Blackpool 0, Nottingham Forest 1, Bolton Wanderers 2, Bournemouth 1. It's Brighton 0, Doncaster Rovers 0. It's Burnley 2, Millwall 1, Charlton Athletic 0, Birmingham 1, Huddersfield 0, Wigan 0, Leicester 1, Watford 2, Middlesbrough 0, Blackburn Rovers 0, and Reading 0, Sheffield Wednesday 1. So we'll move on to League One. Bradford City are losing at half-time at home to Crewe Alexandra Not the first half Bradford would have been hoping there. It's Carlisle 0, Gillingham 1, Leyton Orient 0, Peterborough 0. It's Notts County 2, Coventry 0. Oldham 1, Bristol City 1, it's Port Vale 2, Swindon Town 0, Sheffield United 2, Shrewsbury Town 0, Tranmere Rovers 1, Preston North End 1, and Walsall 0, MK Dons 2. So coming up, the League 2 scores, and then we will hopefully bring you some of the Skrill North live scores. We've done our research today, and with the new technology we've got, to actually get you some scores in, as it's not always easy to get in these scores from Guiseley's league, the all-important one. But anyway, League 2 half-time scores are Wimbledon 0, Rochdale 0, Bristol Rovers 0, Oxford 1, Dagenham Redbridge 0, Hartlepool 0, it's Exeter 0, Portsmouth 1, Mansfield 1, Southend 0, it's Morecambe 0, Burton 0, Northampton behind at home against Plymouth Argyle 2-0 there, Scunthorpe 1, Chesterfield 1, Wycombe Wanderers 0, Accrington Stanley 0, and it's York City 0, Cheltenham Town 0. To complete all the Football League scorelines in the Skrill Premier, not many games went ahead at all. There's a lot of postponements, but the games that did go ahead at half time, it's Grimsby 0, Southport 0, Hyde 1, Lincoln City 2, Salisbury City 0, Alfreton Town 0, and Wrexham 1, Dartford 2. So only 4 games going ahead there. There's more games that went ahead actually in the Skrill North, so we'll find you some of those scorelines now. At half time, as we say, it's the Lions 0-0 here at half time against Worcester City, and you've got to say they have possibly been the better side. We'll bring you some half time analysis with myself and Tom Feeney, but we'll just go through now the Skrill North half time scorelines. Barrow lead 1-0 to league leaders Ferriby United. Fantastic scoreline for Barrow, going really well at the moment, and that's the half time scoreline. It's Boston United 1, Brackley Town 1, it's Gainsborough 1, Leamington 1, Harrogate 3, Hednesford 1 is the half time scoreline. Harrogate leading against the second place side Hednesford, so a fantastic scoreline for them. Solihull Moors 1, Colwyn Bay 0. It's Stockport 2, Stalybridge 0. Stalybridge struggling. Stockport climbing back up the table, as they will be hoping to, but not for Guiseley. That wouldn't be a nice scoreline. And the final scoreline in the Skrill North we have is Vauxhall Motors 2, Histon 0. So they're the scores from around the ground. As we say here in Guiseley, it's 0-0, and I'm joined at half-time now by Tom Fahini. Tom, first half, what are your thoughts of that first half performance for Guiseley?
Well, it was an even game. I've got to say Worcester have come here with the intent to try and attack, and they had a fantastic chance 2 minutes in, and they really should have scored with it. Aaron Brown, he's missed his shot. On another day, he sat into the back of the net. But then from that point onwards, guys have got forward, and Danny Ellis with his header off the line. Brooksby's putting in 1 or 2 dangerous balls, and his free kick where Vega's made quite an important save. Gets a hand on the ball, gets out of play, and then right at the death, Rovry with that effort again. Vega wanted to deny him, but the pitch, it's holding up just at the moment, but the wind is that strong. It's changing the direction of the pass, and it's not going to be the prettiest second half, I don't think, just with how the weather's going to be, but hopefully Guiseley can get that crucial goal.
As well, the pitch has really dug up so far this first half. It's been bobbling about. But a talking point we said before the game was Guiseley leaking 4 goals last week. They look more assured at the back, don't they?
Yes, they do. Minus 1 small error by Jake Lawler, which Danny Ellis was able to help him out with. It has just been a case that Ellis and Lawler, they've been communicating throughout the half, and they've just been making sure that the Worcester attack isn't getting too far forward. once or twice Worcester have tried to play the offside trap, but guys, because the defence is talking, they've not been able to, and the offside flag's been going up. And it just, it just means that guys are in a position where they can get forward and not have to worry about the defence because they're communicating. And like I said, let's hope that with all that being said, guys, they can now get a goal.
Yeah, definitely. And we've seen some fantastic moments, especially from our perspective, from Ollie Johnson. He's looked really lively in midfield so far this first half.
Well, yeah, when you take a player who a few years ago was playing in League One for Norwich City when they won promotion to the Championship, and Ollie's played at York City as well, and he's just been unlucky with injuries. He impressed at Norwich City. He did all right at York minus the injury. So for him to drop down to the Skrill North, he's showing them touches, that bit of flair that he has, and he looks like someone who can make the difference and hopefully maybe get a goal or set one up.
And from one Johnson to the other, Adam Johnson's, he's done what we've seen familiar to him recently, really getting involved, his strength showing. What about the second half for Johnson then?
Well, for Alex, it's going to be, a case that the defence really are, really getting in his face and being physical. He's just got to keep his cool because he's already on a yellow card for, quite a stupid thing, really. I wouldn't have booked him for that. I don't think it's a yellow card offence. But there we go, the referee's given it. And the amount of times the centre-back for Worcester has been pushing Johnson and, just making him get just a little bit agitated with what's going on. He's just got to keep his cool and hopefully the chances will come for him. Yeah,
definitely. Well, it is cold here, so I'm getting my names mixed up. Obviously, it's Alex Johnson there in the first half. But yeah, what else can we see from this Guiseley performance in the second half to get that goal that we really need?
Well, I think you've got to look at the bench. The likes of Danny Forrest, he's someone who can run down the wing and make a difference if that's the way Mark Bow wants to go. Maybe bringing on someone like Michael Potts just to shore up the midfield and let someone like Johnson push forward into an attacking position. That could work as well. But I think for right now, Bow will stick with the team he's got. I think he'll be in a position where maybe after 60 minutes he'll see what's going on and then make one or two subs. But like I said, right now I think he'll just stick with what he's got. They're doing all right, but they just need to get one or two more chances and try and be a bit more effective when going forward.
And in terms of the opposition, Worcester haven't had many clear-cut chances there. They were resorted to a few long-range efforts, a deflected shot by Deeney late on, which was comfortable in the end for keeper Drench. But what are you seeing any promising signs for a Worcester perspective?
Well, hopefully not, but the way Worcester play against the big teams, it works for them. In the first half, they always try and just hold back and get the other team forward, and they do that for most of the game until the last 15-20 minutes when they push forward and try and get the team that's wanting the win on the counter-attack. And I think that's the way they're going again. Their manager's actually sat in the crowd and he's been barking instructions, and he's been saying just basically that he wants the team to hold on and not get too far forward and keep the head. And I think that will be the aim for him during this second half until the last stages, if it's still 0-0.
And a word for their keeper as well, Jose Vega, who, as we said in commentary, we've seen a lot of in recent years. But he's been quick off his line. He's made some really important saves as well, tipping away Gavin Rothery's shot. How are Guiseley going to be able to beat him this second half?
Well, I think at this level, Vega's one of the best keepers in the league, despite his age. He's just a very good keeper. He's a very good shot stopper, and it might be a case that Guiseley are going to have to produce something which a goalkeeper can't beat. A piece of magic, maybe a mistake by Worcester's defence. We'll have to wait and see. But at the moment, with the weather, I'm hoping it's 3 points because I'm freezing.
As am I, Tom. As am I. I'm shivering at this half-time interval, and I'm sure we won't have the players feeling the cold. They need to have a really strong second half, and the Guiseley players are back on the pitch, and the Worcester players start to emerge as well. So we'll shortly return to the second half commentary. But finally, Tom, as well, we've got, I was just looking at the team sheet then, and we've got Danny Forrest on the bench. Could he be that player maybe later on to come on and provide that spark and provide that thing that will beat the keeper.
Well, yeah, I think what he brings for us is he brings pace down the wing, and he's got a good cross on him as well, and he's not afraid to shoot. And someone like him can come on with 15-20 minutes to go and just make that difference if needed. But we'll have to wait and see. And I'm hoping before that time, Guiseley will have taken the lead and 3 points will be all but wrapped up.
Definitely. So that's our half-time discussion completed, and as we will wish Guiseley the best for the second half, and I'm sure for the second half commentary there won't be any mix-up of names from our expert commentary team of handing over to Nick Keith and first Colin Robertson.
Thanks, Tim. Don't have too much of a hang-up on it. Just at the break, two teams are now back out, and there does seem to be a change. Already Ollie Johnson is making way, and the change is going to be Danny Forrest, who will be taking his place. So we'll have a look at how that affects the lineup very shortly. But Ollie Johnson, who for me had a very good first half, looked dangerous, had a couple of good flicks, but struggled to make headway, as everyone did into that final third. Was one of the more positives. He's making way for Danny Forrest. Nick, what do you make of that change?
Well, we discussed at half-time there were two potential changes that he could make if Ollie Johnson isn't quite ready to do a full 90 minutes yet. And Danny Forrest, obviously to the left and pushing Boys into the centre, was one of those options. The other one would have been Michael Potts, maybe, and Gavin Rothery to go into the number 10 role behind Alex Johnson. Attacking kick-off here. Yeah,
Alex Johnson just running with the ball forward. Danny Forrest picks it up from distance, takes a shot just wide of the left upright. And Jose Vega was stretching to get down there, but the ball laid back by Alex Johnson found Danny Forrest, and almost an immediate impression from the substitute just 20 seconds into the second half.
Well, one thing in the first half that Guiseley weren't doing was taking shots on sight, and that one from Gavin Rothery quite close to half-time was one of the very few times we saw a player just have a go, and obviously Danny Forrest has signalled his intent to take any opportunities that present.
Now Ben Parker plays the ball down left towards Alex Johnson. Johnson lays it back. Ben Parker can't collect. Goes only as far as Danny Boschel. Picked in here by Parker and Boschel, but defended this time by Worcester. Brought away by Brown. Cut out by Jake Lawler. Sends the ball into the stands. And Worcester recover the possession from the throw. Well won back here by Danny Forrest and Danny Boschel. One here by Gavin Rothery. Puts a tackle in on Ellis Deeney. Knocks the ball out into touch. Worcester now making their own little return in this second period, which has started off quite brightly for the Lions. Danny Forrest coming close after coming on for Ollie Johnson within seconds, having a shot that's just gone wide of the upright. The ball now forward into the Worcester half once again. Unfortunate loss of control there from Alex Johnson. Just couldn't get the ball away from Jamie Grimes, and now Worcester loft it into Guiseley's half. Jake Lawler has to be alive to the danger. Ethan Moore looking to rob him of possession, but Lawler helps it away. The ball's returned, and now Moore finds it and tie, but a really good tackle again from Ben Parker, who's having a very good afternoon. Left back takes the ball away, but only as far as Brown. Brown gets the ball into the area once again. Now Moore goes down towards the byline. He's got Danny Ellis to beat. Moore lays it back. Helped in here again by Leslie. Headed behind by Jake Lawler. It's going to be a Worcester corner. And after that bright start now, Worcester are asking the questions.
Yeah, is it the first Worcester corner of the game, maybe? We'll see soon in the second half what sort of effect it has playing in this direction. And if Worcester carve out more chances like this and more territory, it'll be clear what the wind's doing to the game.
Worcester now get the ball into the area up to the penalty spot where Moore gets a header onto it. Danny Ellis blocks it. The ball's cleared up towards Alex Johnson, but he's not going to be able to keep that one in play, and so Worcester have a throw just inside Guiseley half. Every green shirt in Guiseley's territory at the moment. The wind's dropped, and it's a chance here for the Lions, Worcester to press once again down this left-hand side.
Yeah, it's going to take a bit of getting used to seeing Guiseley going the wrong way in the second half.
You're a Nick.
I am very much so, and looking at the way the pitch is cut up, it's obvious which team had more attacking possession in the first half. So Worcester have now got the job of playing. If they want to attack like this, they've got the job of playing on the more bobbly pitch at this end.
Worcester have a corner. Ball played into the area. It's defended well. Corner came from a rather weak clearance. Played into the area by Stephen Leslie. Defended well by Guiseley, but playing on the back foot at the moment. 48 minutes gone. 0-0 between Guiseley and Worcester, if you're just joining us. But the scoreline at the moment is certainly in the... the attacking movement at the moment is certainly in the favour of Worcester, but they've just rather cheaply conceded possession, and the ball's gone out for a goal kick, and Stephen Drench can take this one.
Looking to see what sort of clearances Drench uses in the second half. In the first half, he was keeping everything short, aware that he was kicking into the wind, so using the ground and using his defence as an outlet. Wonder if he'll go for a few longer ones in the second half, see if he can get some freakish clearances with the wind.
It is a long clearance in the end, but it goes beyond Alex Johnson and all the way back to Vega. Vega clears downfield. Headed away by Ben Parker. It was a good long clearance as well. Brown plays the ball to the right-hand side, and Ty takes it down well. About 30 yards from goal. Brown on the right-hand flank. Gives it to the full-back, Williams, who's come forward. Brown gets it back from Williams. Orchestrating things in this final third is Brown. Plays the ball back to Ntai. Daniel Ntai has two players on him. Does really well to get the ball into Stephen Leslie. But as Leslie tries to return it for a 1-2, his ball is too heavy and it's gone behind for a goal kick. So if you're just joining us, Guiseley 0, Worcester 0. 50 minutes gone. 5 minutes into the second period. And the best chances for the Lions have come either side of the break. And in the second half, Danny Forrest came close to the shot, just 20 seconds after coming on the pitch for as a substitute. But there has, as yet, been no goals between these two sides this season. And Ty now looks to come forward down this right-hand flank, plays the ball into the area. It's a good one. Brown will get a firm header on it. And Worcester have the lead. Aaron Brown. It's a wonderful cross from Daniel and Ty. Aaron Brown leapt in the air, a really firm header, gave Stephen Drench no chance. And a well-taken goal, and it's now Guiseley 0, Worcester 1.
Unavoidable, really, that goal. Once the ball had gone across into the area, there isn't anyone on the pitch who was going to be able to match Aaron Brown in the air. In the first half, guys, who were trying to get Jake Lawler up against him from corners and set pieces, because he's obviously the tallest of the guys, the defenders. That time found himself up against Danny Ellis. But truth be told, if Aaron Brown chooses to jump when he's starting 3 or 4 inches taller than anybody else anyway, I'm afraid he's always going to have a clear header, and it was a good one across the goal, firmly into the far corner. Not something that Stephen Drench could stop. I suppose from a Guiseley point of view, that had to be snuffed out before the cross came in, really.
Well, Guiseley get the ball into Worcester's territory for the first time in that second half since that early foray. But Worcester clear it well. Danny Ellis has to head the long clearance that was headed for Ethan Moore. And then a mistake by Lawler. Sends Brown into the area. He takes a shot that just goes wide of the upright. Lawler just gifted the ball to Aaron Brown. Oh dear. Guiseley could have been undone and 2-0 down.
Well, that was Tom and Jerry stuff, wasn't it? Just turning around, no idea where the ball was. It was at his feet the whole time. Really unlucky for Jake Lawler. And a bit of a let-off, really, in the end for Guiseley. Could have been an absolute nightmare, a minute or so, that.
We spoke about Worcester, and they've had some bad results this season. They got thumped 6-1 by Bradford Park Avenue earlier on in the year. But since then, they've certainly turned around their fortunes. And this was always going to be a tough ask, and it's proving to be so. Guiseley trailing by a goal to 0. Worcester now with the ball again in Guiseley's half, but this time the pass takes a deflection, it's gone out into touch for a throw-in.
I think what Worcester have done, correct me if I'm wrong, Colin, I think they've gone to a very straight flat 4-4-2, and Aaron Brown has pushed forward alongside Ethan Moore. They weren't the front two in the first half. Brown was playing in midfield, but with the two of them up there, both of them taller than either of the guys, the centre-backs, then they're obviously planning on using long ball effectively in the second half and trying to get some crosses in as well. And you would say in the weather, that's a perfect tactic, really.
Well, the weather certainly is difficult. Very difficult conditions here. The rain's coming down now, and the ball hangs up in the air well for Worcester. Free kick It's taken into the area. Ben Parker can't clear. The wind's gusting around in there, and Ty is pulled down, and a free kick once again is given to Worcester. They have, at the moment, all the impetus, all the attacking play. Guiseley have also conceded the goal to them as well, so the Lions have a big ask on them. They've got a free kick now, a few yards out from the angle of the penalty area on the right-hand side. Guiseley have a two-man wall. Stephen Leslie steps across to take this free kick. And the Lions again have, 3 or 4 players to watch out for on the edge of that 18-yard box. This is going to be a dangerous position, this, Nick.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, box loaded with tall players coming in on the left foot, curling into the box.
Stephen Leslie takes the ball, goes into the edge of the 6-yard box. Header just goes wide, but the flag was up. But once again, Guiseley struggling with the ball into the area towards Aaron Brown, who in the first half wasn't really getting into the game. He was unable really to deliver the final ball for Worcester, but in the second half he's been the target man who's caused an awful lot of problems.
Well, it's going to take an awful lot of heart for Guiseley to get back into this now, with the physical presence that Worcester have got up front, and the way that the rain that's coming down now is affecting the game too. They're going to have to dig very, very deep.
Danny Forrest gets it, tries to cut between 2 players. Can't win it. Does at the second attempt, take it off and Ty. Now goes down this left-hand channel. Williams gets a good tackle in on him. And Guiseley have a throw in, and Ty feels he was fouled and protests at the referee. Guiseley have a throw nonetheless on the left-hand side. Level with the penalty area, penalty spot. Taken by Parker. Short to Boschel. Boschel goes in field, finds Rothery. Rothery back to Parker. Parker into Forrest, gets a good 1-2 with Forrest, helps the ball across the face of the 18-yard line. Taken up by Danny Boschel into Andy Holdsworth. Guys are trying to work their way through the centre of the Worcester defence. Well organised by Worcester, they defend well. Ball now back here with Gavin Rothery just on the centre circle. He tries to spray the ball out wide to Andy Holdsworth, but it holds up in the sodden turf. And Worcester can get a vital position taken up and clear, but Guiseley bring the ball back down here with Gavin Rothery once again. Out now to Wayne Brooksby. Brooksby and Rothery combine really well. Rothery on the right-hand side, gets the ball into the area, goes over everyone, headed away, ticked up now by Danny Forrest on the left flank. He's got 2 men on him. He has to go backwards, lays it in towards Danny Boschel. Boschel goes for the tackle, collides quite heavily with Ellis Deeney. No malice in it, and the two, Ellis Deeney protests, and there really is no need, to be honest. Boschel was trying to win the ball, but the referee just holds it up. I would hope that's a talking to and not a repeat of the ridiculous yellow card we saw for Alex Johnson in the first half. Well,
Deeney just wanted to make a little bit more of it than there was needed, but cooler heads have prevailed, and it's just a quiet talking to for Guiseley's assistant manager, and Vega will restart on the edge of the box.
I do love it, the George Stock stand over on the far side. In these conditions, absolutely full to brimming.
Yeah, it's almost like we could do with some more standing or covered terracing on that side of the ground, Colin. Or maybe somewhere to sit on the south side.
Yes. I think that's a no-brainer.
Well, hopefully there are some plans to do something about that.
Yes, he'd be daft not to. Guys, now having to defend. I'm trying to watch what I say, actually. So.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. I enjoy being able to see the cricket during the summer games, but at the moment, I can picture a nice big stand for us to spread out in over there as well.
Danny Boschel has the ball now for Guiseley. The ball's laid out wide here to Andy Holdsworth. Cuts in nicely to Wayne Brooksby. Brooksby charges at 2 or 3 players. Gets brought down, but the ball keeps on moving here. Square now to Gavin Rothery on the edge of the D. Gets a shot with the left foot, but he gets it under it. And it scoops it over the bar. Better from Guiseley, though.
Yeah, they've had the right reaction, actually, after a few minutes of needing to steady the ship. They're making some chances again and getting some forward possession. Of course, they've just given themselves a bit to do now by going a goal behind so soon after half-time. Yeah, if you're just joining us, it is Guiseley 0, Worcester 1. The goal in the second half. A good header from Aaron Brown, a super header. Good cross from Daniel and Ty as well. It was a very well-worked goal, but be disappointed that they've allowed the ball to get in the danger area so easily. And now Wayne Brooksby comes forward down the right-hand flank for Guiseley. Brooksby charges at the 2 players in front of him, gets the ball into the area, well defended this time by Jamie Grimes. Chests it away. Jake Lawler wins the ball back,
but only gives it away to Ellis Deeney. Deeney sprays it out to the right-hand side, looking for Ntai. Good tackle, good header rather, from Ben Parker, but it's returned towards Ntai, and George Williams then takes over for Worcester. Guys are now just trying to close things down and up the tempo a little bit in midfield, but Worcester do hold on to the ball. Danny Boschel eventually takes possession deep inside his own half, and Danny Ellis up to the halfway where Alex Johnson collects. And guys, you start another foray into the Worcester half on the right hand side here with Brooksby. Plays it into the feet of Holdsworth. Guys are making some patient headway into the middle of the Worcester territory, up to the edge of the D. Finds Adam Boyes. Boyes gets a shot away. Well saved by the goalkeeper. Vega recovers really well as Wayne Brooksby was charging down to capture the loose ball, but a good shot from Boyes, but an even better save from Jose Vega.
Absolutely, it was a good smart save, and Brooksby was following in as quickly as he could, but Vega kept his eyes on the ball, and at the second attempt clutched it down safely into the ground. Good goalkeeping and a good opportunity for Adam Boyes as well. We need to see more of him shooting on his right foot in the second half.
Guys, they have a free kick just inside their own half, and it's Holdsworth who will take. Oh, no, of course it's not. Stephen Drench comes across.
He's enjoyed playing at right back today, hasn't he?
He's had a few moments out there, hasn't he? This is one of those moments. I say it every time. You just hope he doesn't shank it, because he's so far from his goal. He takes this one back level the edge of the centre circle on the right-hand side. He launches it long, but it's repelled by Worcester, and now Ethan Moore comes down the left-hand flank. Gets the ball into the area, looking for Ntai. If he could have found him, the Worcester man would have been free again, but Drench was there to collect. Danny Boschel gets it from the goalkeeper. Just inside the Guiseley half still, under pressure there from Nelson Addy. Picked up here by Ben Parker. He's closed down by Ntai, and then gives it to Jake Lawler. Lawler tries a raking crossfield ball. It doesn't come off. Somehow a free kick's given against Andy Holdsworth on Stephen Leslie. But free kick it is. Worcester have.
Yeah, good pressure from Worcester actually in midfield. They're not giving Guiseley any time to build on the ball. Contrary to the first half, where Guiseley were able to build a little bit in midfield and it was breaking down in the final third, Worcester seems to be trying to get onto them sooner now.
Guiseley get the ball from the cleared free kick, and Alex Johnson goes down the right hand side. It was a good clearance from Jake Lawler from the ball into the area. Guiseley now have a chance to get some bodies into that Worcester box. A throw in on the right hand side taken by Holdsworth, finds Boschel, but the little interplay on that right flank doesn't work, and they lose the ball and it goes out into touch as the rain pelts down here at Nethermore. It's been a fairly glum afternoon weather-wise, and it's a pretty glum afternoon score-wise at the moment. Guiseley trailing by 1-0 at home here to Worcester.
And we've got another change coming here. It looks like Reece Maynell's getting ready to come on.
Well, Ben Parker's had a good afternoon, I would have said, so could it be that it would be a defensive midfield opportunity for him, perhaps?
Well, no. As you say that, the board goes up and it is Ben Parker going off. To my mind, he's had a really good game defensively. Hasn't got forward a huge amount, so maybe they're hoping Reece will get forward a little bit more, maybe get one or two crosses into the box. But or maybe there's a knock or a not quite fully fit kind of issue there that we don't know about. But not immediately obvious why he'd make a like-for-like change there at the moment.
Well, it is that change. Reece Maynell and Danny Forrest, two substitutes which have been used already this afternoon. With 62 minutes gone, Guiseley trailing by 1-0. Aaron Brown, the goal scorer for Worcester, on 51. Now from the throw, Danny Boschel makes a surging run towards the edge of the area, but he's beaten to it. Worcester clear up to the halfway line. Danny Ellis takes over, tries to feed it into Gavin Rothery. Rothery has to battle with Brown, wins the ball. It's beaten away, but Andy Holdsworth takes over on the halfway line again. When Brooksby just has a loose touch and Stephen Leslie closes him down quickly, and then Brooksby's penalised for pulling him over. Those two are having a bit of a tussle on that far side this afternoon.
Yeah, and just none of it's really going Guiseley's way at the moment. They're not managing to get any of those free kicks. They're not managing to get the moves into the final third. You know, I said after half time the pitch that the end that guys had been attacking towards is where it was cut up. Well, guys, they haven't really done any cutting up of the other end yet because they've simply not had the attacking possession.
Deeney now with the ball for Worcester. 25 yards from goal. Plays it in towards the edge of the D, but Deniels gets a foot on it ahead of Moore. Andy Holdsworth will clear from right back. And then Alex Johnson is bundled over by Jamie Grimes, who's gone through him in no uncertain terms, and I think Grimes is going to go into the book this time.
Yeah, that was a cut above just about anything else we've seen between those two today. He's really come through him hard, belted him hard, and his head bounced up off the turf as well as he landed there, AJ. So he'll be all right, but no doubt that should be a yellow card that time. Enough is enough, really.
Grimes and Johnson have been having a bit of a tussle this afternoon. Alex Johnson, that is. Ollie Johnson was on the field in the first half, had to go off at the break. Stephen Drench comes up to the halfway line to take this. Only he and Andy Holdsworth remain in defensive positions. Everyone else in a white shirt looking to put pressure on this Worcester goal. Drench launches it in towards the penalty area, cleared by Brown, no pressured, picked up now by Danny Boschel. Rothery tries to flip one through or flick one through. Has the ball beaten away and somehow concedes a free kick against Leslie again. Frustrating.
It is, isn't it? It's increasingly so. We do try and say we'll call this down the middle, but it's agonising to watch as a Guiseley fan at the moment.
Clearance is made, but returned, and Guiseley can't control the ball. It's gone out for another throw-in for Worcester. With 64 minutes, 26 to go. If you're just joining us, Worcester lead by 1-0. And it's the goal scorer who is Aaron Brown, who headed home a firm header that gave Stephen Drench no chance. And Worcester look to make more of the scoreline. Rhys Maynell has to step across to clear, as Worcester made some good headway down the left-hand side and sent the ball in towards Daniel and Ty. And then it's out for a throw-in. Now Worcester have a chance here to continue the pressure with a throw. Tyler Weir sends it in towards Moore, but there's poor possession from Worcester, and they've conceded a goal kick. That Guiseley off the hook there a little. And now a goal kick to Stephen Drench. Gives the Lions a chance to get the ball forward once again. Up towards Boys. Boys has got a bit of a push in the back, but didn't claim anything. Lawler and Brown battle away in the centre circle now as the ball spends some time in the air. Holdsworth takes it down. Takes the ball with a right-footed cross down the right flank, but it's well defended by Worcester, and Leslie, who's been very impressive this afternoon, sends the ball down the left flank looking for more. It's ahead of him. Drench clears. Ball up towards Alex Johnson. This time Jamie Grimes wins the battle and heads away, only as far as Danny Boschel. Boschel on the halfway line gives it back to Jake Lawler. Loose touch from Lawler. Gives a chance for Worcester to intercept, and Nelson Addy was alive to it. It's a good ball in there. And it's out for another throw-in.
It's just gone very quiet in the ground now, hasn't it? I think everyone's just struggling with the cold and the wet and the wind a little bit. And it's a little bit quiet on the pitch as well still.
Been a while since we've seen a win at home. Been a while since we've been beaten at home as well, to be fair. But Danny Forrest gets the ball now on the left-hand side. Can't make any run or any headway down that left flank. Has to go back to Boschel. Boschel takes the ball in towards Boys, but they're on different wavelengths again. That's a couple of instances of that this afternoon. The clearance now from Worcester sends Moore. Ethan Moore's in good space down this left flank. He's got Danny Ellis shadowing him now, but he can lay it back here to Stephen Leslie. Leslie's on the edge of the penalty area. He goes down towards the byline, gets a firm shot in towards the goal. Well held by Stephen Drench. Got his body behind that one. Claims it. Launches it up towards Alex Johnson. Johnson takes the ball down. Beats Grimes to it this time. Sends it out to the left-hand side. Danny Forrest can have a bit of a run at this. If he can get a bit ahead of steam, perhaps he can get another shot away. Doesn't get the shot with any power in on it. The turf denying him the opportunity to get a clean strike of the ball. And now Nelson Addy comes forward for Worcester. Goes through one challenge, sends it to the left. Aaron Brown on the edge of the area, beats his man. Goes back now towards Stephen Leslie, and Leslie launches the ball way over the crossbar. He'll waste a few minutes, but he didn't get his head over the ball this time.
No, that'd have been a good conversion if it had been a rugby game. But it's not.
We always have two or three rugby analogies, don't we, in the commentary? Usually to indicate poor passages of play.
Yeah, it's one of my go-to criticisms is that for one that's sailed straight over the middle of the crossbar. It's a little bit lazy, I suppose.
Guys, they have the ball in the back line. Andy Holdsworth slips as he gets the ball up towards Boys. Boys is on the halfway line. Gives it out to Brooksby. Now to Rothery. Still Guiseley not able to make too much headway, but they do finally find Brooksby with a good ball. And no sooner does he get it, Brooksby's beaten to it by Moore. And again, Brooksby's involved in a foul. I think he's unlucky there. He's been given a foul against him, and now the referee's given him the no more and pointing around the pitch. And I don't think Brooksby's been in the heart of anything.
No, he hasn't. He's not been tussling away with anyone really like that today. And I think that all of that from the referee was more of for the benefit of everyone else on the pitch and maybe around the ground as well.
Really was nothing more than a coming together in that instance. Nonetheless, Worcester have the free kick inside their own half. They flick it on towards Aaron Brown. Good shot from Brown in terms of the power.
It was all Aaron Brown. That obviously won the header by a mile, and when the ball dropped and came back his way, took a solid shot on his left. He's a rare player at this level, isn't he? Someone who can play a little bit in midfield and a little bit up front. And for the height he's got to be so mobile, we see so often tall strikers in this division who don't get around the pitch quite so well, or they've got some obvious other flaw. But he's quick and athletic and 2 good feet as well. So you can see why he's an important player for Worcester, and he's really impressed today, despite the pitch and despite the wind.
Well, the rain seems to have eased off a little bit, but the wind hasn't. Guys who have the ball now, just inside their own half. Andy Holdsworth through a bit of a bog of a pitch where he's playing there. Danny Ellis plays the ball up towards Alex Johnson, just inside the centre circle. Johnson with his back towards the Worcester goal, has to go back. Worcester just closing down, playing a high tempo, high close down game, and it's working for them. They head the ball forward, looking for Brown. Ellis gets a header onto it, finds Boys. Boys sends a brilliant ball in here to Alex Johnson, but Johnson again is denied. This time a super tackle from Graham Hutchinson. Just as he saw he might just have a sighted goal. There was no pace on the pass that went through. It held up at first well for Johnson, but then because the ball slowed down, Hutchinson had the chance to get the tackle in, and he did so well.
Well, he just looked a little bit heavy-legged there as well, did Alex Johnson that time, and he was caught up with quickly by the defender, and just meant he wasn't going to be able to get the shot that the pass would have deserved.
Ball's gone all the way back to Vega once again from Stephen Drench's clearance. You've probably just heard Alex Johnson and Hutchinson had a little coming together, but referee quite clear that there was nothing in that. Guys, they have a throw in, and to be fair, I think on that occasion there wasn't really anything in it.
Just wondering these situations, it's not really cool to go after your own fans, but I wonder if there was just a bit of noise around the ground, a bit of encouragement for the players, whether it might just lift the mood on the pitch a little bit. I know it's freezing cold and everyone's just a bit miserable and fed up, but I just wonder if it would spur the players on a little bit to hear a bit of noise from around the sides of the pitch right now.
Well, guys, they've just conceded possession in their half. Now Worcester come forward. Good ball forward, looking for Ntai, but Reece Maynell cuts it across and sends it up towards Danny Forrest. Forrest clears, gets the deflection against the Worcester man. It's out for a throw-in. And we've got to do something, because we've only got, by my reckoning, 18 minutes or so in which to change our fortunes in this game. If you're just tuning in, guys, you're trailing by a goal to nil here to Worcester at home. Aaron Brown, the goal scorer for the visitors, on 51. Now they might change things here. Ball forward for Adam Boyce to get onto by Alex Johnson, but once again, really well shadowed by the Worcester defenders. It's Jamie Grimes, who just was in the right place at the right time. So to knock it out for a throw-in. Perhaps just a simple ball over the top could actually undo this Worcester defence. Gavin Rothery now plays the ball into the area, looking for Wayne Brooksby. Beaten to it, taken down by Andy Holdsworth. Back out here to Brooksby. Brooksby whips it into the 6-yard box. Well held by Jose Vega again. Jose Vega. Adam Boys was waiting to pick out any scraps that might have been left in that 6-yard box, but Vega held on to it. And Guiseley now see another chance go begging. Ball this time put into the Guiseley half, and Rhys Maynell claims very vociferously that was a Guiseley throw. And Ty disagrees, but eventually the linesman on this side, Paul Newhouse, agrees. Guiseley have a throw in.
Well, what Worcester are doing so well now is there's 2 or 3 around every Guiseley player that has the ball. As soon as they have the ball, the green shirts converge on them so much more quickly than they did in the first half.
None of the passing is really working for Guiseley. They just got the ball there in the middle of the field and started playing 1 or 2 passes, and a very late challenge by Rhys Maynell has taken down Ty, but Worcester now come forward anyway. It's here with Ethan Moore, gets into the area, good save from Stephen Drench, but Ty was hit by a very late tackle from Rhys Maynell, and the referee's calling over Maynell. And I have to say it was a poor challenge actually from Maynell on Ty, but Ty's up. But Maynell's going to go in the book for that. That doesn't really surprise me, to be honest. No,
studs right into his ankle. It was a definite booking, was that. Fortunately, the lad's foot wasn't trapped on the floor or anything like that, so it was just a kind of painful contact rather than anything more risky. But yeah, he was just a little bit late there, was Rhys.
I wouldn't say it was malicious, late, and it had a like you say, it wasn't malicious, but it was late, and it had a crack down the shin pad. Fortunately, the Worcester plan, Daniel and Ty's fine, and we're all back away. It's hardly surprising some of the challenges with this pitch, especially as things get stretched in the later moments. Wouldn't be surprised if we see a few more yellow cards for either side. At the moment, there's just a throw for Worcester. It's got a sort of strange feel to it, hasn't it, this match? It's not got the pace or the...
It's got the feel of a team that's just lost momentum, and whether it's because they've had 1 or 2 new players come in, or probably more likely, given the quality of the players that have come in, it's probably because of the long break between fixtures. But for whatever reason, it just doesn't seem to be clicking as it was before the winter break, the Christmas break.
Well, these pitches certainly don't help. And Guiseley's normal, pristine surface has been hampered by the weather. But Danny Forrest is making light work of that at the moment, down this left-hand side. But again, Nelson Addy does really well to come back. Gives the ball to Daniel and Ty. Forrest is trying to get behind his opponent, and now Aaron Brown has just skipped past Jake Lawler as if he's not there. He's only got Danny Ellis to beat to get into the penalty area. Goes past him. Gavin Rothery gets in his way, blocks him from going any further. Danny Ellis picks up the loose scraps. Great defensive work there from Gavin Rothery.
Yeah, Danny Ellis needed the extra man, because the way he'd gone past Lawler, he was going to do the same to Ellis, and it took 2 of them to see him out wide and crowd him out, basically.
Guiseley with the throw-in on the halfway line. Rhys Maynell gives it to Danny Boschel, into the feet of Gavin Rothery. Rothery just gives it a bit behind Boschel, so the momentum goes for a minute there. Then into the feet of Brooksby. Brooksby's pulled down and grabs the ball. And Ellis Deeney protests, but it was poor control actually the first instance, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's a good job the referee decided to give the free kick after Brooksby had gathered the ball as he went to the ground. It's always a bit risky, that, I think. Play to the whistle. Don't grab the ball before the referee's actually given the free kick, or you risk getting a yellow card for deliberate handball.
Now, guys, have a free kick inside the centre circle. Everyone just about lining up on the edge of the 18-yard box now. Played in by Danny Boschel. It towards Alex Johnson. It bounces past everyone and just goes past the goal. It would have been a Danny Boschel free kick goal from inside the centre circle. I think Jose Vega, to be fair, had the measure of it. But if Alex Johnson had got anything on it, surely that would have been a leveller.
Well, I don't know how that's gone through without making contact with anybody, but it did.
Goal kick. 13 minutes to go. 1-0 to Worcester. And this wretched run of form, actually, for Guiseley continues. They've lost the last 2 away on their travels at Barrow and Worcester. After that victory over Solihull Moors, in which all seemed well. Moors have sort of gone into self-explosion since then. They've really or imploded. We've got 2 players down at the moment going through their stretches for Worcester. I think they're just using up a few moments. A free kick to Worcester in their back line.
Yeah, they were on the same script there, weren't they? They'd both read the pretend to have cramp and stretch out, both of the centre-backs at the same moment.
Yes. And Worcester restart eventually. Take a ball cleared up towards Brown. Well won by Danny Ellis in the head. Takes it into the feet of Danny Boschel. Brooksby now has to battle for it with Ellis. Deeney wins that one, gets it into the area. Beaten away by Lawler from the target man, Brown. Gavin Rothery takes over in midfield, comes over the centre circle now. Plays it forward into a space that would have been brilliant if anyone had occupied it. But Danny Forrest wasn't quite on the same page again. It's ahead of him, cleared by Vega, headed down by Gavin Rothery. Possibly my man of Guiseley's match this afternoon, Gavin Rothery. Out here to Andy Holdsworth. Forward now to Wayne Brooksby. Brooksby and Holdsworth combine well down the right-hand side, but still not really making headway into this final third. Central now with Gavin Rothery. He tries to just dink one into the area, and it's easy for Worcester to defend that one once again. Rothery picks the ball up, but as he's having to defend hard here because Daniel Untai is coming down the right flank. Rothery keeping up pace with Untai. Untai goes back under pressure, plays the ball in field. Nelson Addy takes over onto the edge of the 18-yard box now with a shot with the left foot. Well saved by Drench, but the second ball bounced away from Drench. Ethan Moore was onto it. Drench did really well to recover. Gets the ball at the feet of Moore, who was alive to the opportunity, and denies Worcester a second goal.
Very much like the one we saw Vega take at the second attempt actually earlier in the half. Very good stop, not quite able to hold on to it, and with the striker following in very sharply onto it to gather it at the second attempt.
Worcester now with possession down the left flank. They play it, well, overhit it actually. It's gone out for a goal kick. Guys, you need to do something, and there's really no attacking changes on the bench. There's only Kyle Harrison and Michael Potts left. Worcester it is who'll be making a change now. And it's Christian Ramsey-Dixon who's coming on, and Ethan Moore who is making way. And Ethan Moore's been a danger this afternoon. A good foil to Aaron Brown.
Yeah, he's kept himself busy up there, and he's kept the other defender occupied. It's usually been Jake Lawler who's been trying to look after Aaron Brown, so he's been on Danny Ellis, and straight away Ramsey Dixon is straight on to Danny Ellis as soon as he comes onto the pitch with Worcester in possession.
Daniel Untai takes over on the halfway line. Nelson Addy and Ellis Deeney combines. Deeney plays a lovely ball in. It finds the substitute, and then he helps it along towards Untai. Eventually Guiseley clear. And Gavin Rothery inside, deep inside his own half, under pressure. Plays it forward up towards the halfway line. Danny Boschel can't take it down. Won back again by Worcester. Out here to Untai. Untai takes it down on the chest. Runs at the back line once again. Runs at Reece Maynell, who's on a yellow card. Plays it out wide to Aaron Brown. Aaron Brown just looks like he wants to just hold this one up rather than attack the goal just at the moment. Actually turns Jake Lawler really well. Gets the ball into the area. Danny Ellis has a lot of work to do with Ramsey Dixon, who's just come on. He plays the ball back here. Leslie takes over on the edge of the D. Shot with the left foot. No pace on it. Goes out for a goal kick. Don't see really where Guiseley might get back into the game just at the moment, but this might be the sort of thing. Alex Johnson chasing down the centre half. Referee's just pulled the whistle up. It's been brought down by Graham Hutchinson. Is there arguably a goal scoring opportunity? No, the referee goes straight for the yellow card. I think there was a bit of a distance to make up. You have to wonder actually, because he was the last man, Hutchinson. But Alex Johnson's been hauled down, and guys, you do have the free kick.
I think what's rescued the defender there is that there were two other defenders catching up with Johnson as well. So although he was the last man, but he was far enough away that there's every chance one of those others would have caught up with AJ in the meantime. So I think that was the right decision by the referee. But if you're struggling in a game and there's that sort of inevitable sense that none of your passing moves are going to come off, then you'd start looking to set pieces, don't you? So there's a bit sitting on whether it's Wayne Brooksby or Gav Rothery. I suspect it's Brooksby. There's a bit on his shoulders now to make something out of nothing, because it might not come from open play.
Yeah, really quite a lot resting on this free kick. 8 minutes to go, Guiseley trailing by 1-0. Aaron Brown scoring the header on 51 minutes for Worcester. Brooksby takes the free kick straight into the wall. A real disappointment, that. Dreadful free kick. And it's cleared. Stephen Drench way off his line, chests it down, sends it back into the Worcester half. Picked up now by Danny Boschel. Boschel's got Brooksby on the right hand side. Brooksby can atone with a good cross into the area, gets a good ball in, but Alex Johnson is denied on the 6-yard box. Surely he was tackled and it's a corner. Referee points straight for a goal kick. Johnson looks a bit dismayed, but there is generally not too much complaint about it. And that was a real chance there. Good ball in from Wayne Brooksby.
It was, and it came from a great pass to set Brooksby off from Danny Boschel. Getting over onto the right-hand side, trying to make something from nothing. Again, the guys are going to have to make 1 or 2 more chances like that in the last few minutes if they're going to rescue a point from the game.
84 minutes gone. The Lions trailed by 1-0. Worcester taking the lead in the second half. Aaron Brown. In truth, we've only really had half chances in this game. And at the moment, just one last press forward perhaps could get us something out of this match. Reece Maynell out on the left flank, gets the ball in towards the edge of the D. Alex Johnson picks it up, 3 players around him, has to go back to Rothery. Out wide here to Holdsworth. Holdsworth gets the ball into the area, takes a deflection, goes over the keeper, behind for a corner. And that could have gone anywhere, but the lucky break doesn't fall Guiseley's way.
Yeah, it could have, and it had Vega backpedaling as well. It was a cross, intended cross from deep by Holdsworth, but as you say, it caught a green shirt's foot, if that makes sense.
Corner comes in, up towards the edge of the 6-yard box, headed away by Brown. Guiseley protest. Brooksby gets the ball back into the area again. Cleared off the line from Alex Johnson. Off the chest and on the line and behind for another corner. A bit of a shout for a handball. But the man on the post did his job there. And Guiseley denied once again the best chance of this second half. Another corner. Can Guiseley make something of this one? Into the area. Vega gets a punch away. It's gone behind for another corner.
Well, Nelson Addy, that's why you put men on the post. That's why you put your short players on the posts from set pieces like that. If he hadn't been there was a definite goal to be scored.
Guiseley with the corner again into Rothery. Gets the header pushed away by Vega. It's gone behind for another corner.
Brilliant header by Gavin Rothery, running away from goal, managed to glance it back onto target, and the linesman, the referee hadn't spotted it, but the linesman saw that go behind the line and has awarded another corner. Going to get something for all this pressure?
Corner comes in once again, this time a bit misdirected. Danny Ellis picks it up, gets a volley in at goal, but it's a centre-half volley in the end. It was a difficult opportunity, and it's gone behind for a goal kick.
Yeah, he set himself up for the half volley on the turn, didn't he? But gosh, you wish that could have been Alex Johnson or Adam Boyes in that position.
Well, that was a real concerted period of pressure for the Lions, and Worcester have had to dig deep to defend. Cleared off the line. Good saves from the goalkeeper, Jose Vega, who's had a super game again for the visitors. Substitution now for Worcester. And it's Stephen Leslie who's coming off and Aaron Williams who's coming on.
I think that's sensible timing for Worcester. Just the aim would be to take the momentum out that guys have just that head of steam they've just got up in the last few minutes. Make them stop and wait and reset again with a substitution. Might just be enough to take the sting out of the intended comeback that Guiseley are trying to mount.
Guiseley trailing by 1-0. Jose Vega with the goal kick. As we head into the final passages of play this afternoon here at Nethermoor. Reece Maynell jumps over the fence to recover the ball. I couldn't do that. 86 minutes gone, 87 minutes rather, and it's really last chance saloon for the Lions. The ball forward and it's headed away, taken down by Alex Johnson, picked up by Adam Boyes, away from goal, out here to Forrest. Not had an awful lot of this game. Plays a good infield ball here though, finds Danny Boschel. Gavin Rothery plays it back out wide to Reece Maynell. Maynell with a good ball into the area, goalkeeper missighted, somehow manages to let the ball go through, and Alex Johnson didn't attack it at the key time, and he's gone behind for a goal kick, and I think that was defending that was more fortune than design.
Maybe a little bit of inexperience for Alex Johnson. He's such a young player, but Vega's come out right up to Alex Johnson there. Actually didn't get the ball, didn't do anything, but he's done enough just to stop Johnson in his tracks, and in the end, it would have been a tap in for him. It was a bit like the old Peter Schmeichel sort of thing, wasn't it? Of just charge a striker down and make yourself big and see if that's enough to put him off.
Well, Gavin Rothery's just won a free kick. And Ty just put his hand into his back and didn't put any pressure on it. Referee's just spotted it, and it's a poor ball forward, and Jake Lawler's just conceded another goal kick. What do you think then, Nick? Do we deserve anything out of it today?
It's a strange one because in the first half we had all the possession. I've been watching in the last 5 or 10 minutes just as the players run through the middle third of the pitch, particularly around the centre circle, just how deep their feet sink into the ground on every stride, really. And so I think there's a few heavy legs in midfield, and as the pitch has cut up, I said in the first 15 minutes this might be the best football we see today. And as it's gone on, it's been harder and harder for Guiseley to play it on the deck. Worcester have had the height advantage. It's not been route one from them by any means. I think they've played very well, but it's been hard for Guiseley to do what they do best, and that's kind of contributed to this sort of sense of inevitability. And I hope it's wrong, but it hasn't really felt like there was a huge surging comeback from the home side after they went a goal down.
Well, Guiseley have just earned a free kick. Aaron Brown and Danny Forrest came together just on the halfway line, right outside out on the left-hand side as Guiseley attacked the Worcester goal. Free kick's given about 2 yards in. Stephen Drench has come out to take it. This time he's not taken the best of touches into it, and it's defended well by Worcester, and they can counter-attack here. They're not able to get the ball out of their own half in the end. Guiseley win the throw, but it was a bit of a missed opportunity from Guiseley. The ball goes dead every time the ball hits the turf at the moment. It's difficult conditions. Taken down now by Danny Boschel. Played forward. Gavin Rothery gets on the end of it. Can't get the second ball. Control is just impossible for players on the pitch at the moment. And Guiseley have to defend because Worcester beat the ball away. Stephen Drench helps it forward, gets it on towards Danny Boschel. Skipped on now here towards Wayne Brooksby. Brooksby gets a mix-up between the two defenders, but the defender comes across Tyler Weir. The goalkeeper came out, Jose Vega. Tyler Weir came out too, but neither of them really got hold of the ball. Brooksby couldn't capitalise. Weir cleared. Guiseley still have possession though. One last foray into the area. Big claim here from Boschel, I think it is, that he was pulled back. Worcester do defend their lines though, and now they've got a chance to counter-attack and kill this game off. It's the substitute, Ramsey Dixon, who's got the ball at the moment, plays the ball in towards his other substitute, which is Aaron Williams. Stephen Drench clears, plays it up towards Danny Forrest. Good header from Forrest. Plays it down here to Boys. Boys and Forrest looking to come down the left-hand side. Forrest tries to take on the fullback. The fullback, Williams, hauls him down. And George Williams somehow complains at the referee. And Danny Forrest is clearly the victim of that incident. And Williams is giving Forrest a yellow card.
Unbelievable.
I have no idea. What on earth was that for?
Absolutely unbelievable. The challenge that went in on Danny Forrest there, we'll go back to rugby, that would have been a high challenge in a rugby game.
I have absolutely no idea why Danny Forrest has been booked.
How the Worcester defender has not gone into the book for wrapping his arms around Forrest and hauling him down to the ground, I do not know. And then Forrest has somehow been booked for his reaction. He didn't swing out, I don't think. I didn't see any kind of I didn't see him throw an elbow or a fist or anything like that. Just turning around and berating not the referee but the defender for doing it to him. I don't understand how he's gone into the book for that.
No idea. Worcester have the ball anyway in the final third. Deep into stoppage time now. It's down here with Daniel and Ty. And Ty's got two players around him. They're just going to work the clock down. Worcester right in the corner flag. Rothery and Ty battle away. The ball bounces off and Ty. Guiseley get the throw. Rather they should do, but they don't actually. Worcester have it. It's Alice Deeney who comes across here. And it's 2 minutes of the 4 minutes of stoppage we've already had. Worcester likely in all instances to come away with the 3 points here and end our run of not being beaten at home for a good length of time. Back in September, I think, was the last time we were beaten.
It was whichever game was before the Altrincham one, I think, wasn't it?
Brackley? It might even be that one.
Wow.
No. Sorry, Bradford Park Avenue, I was thinking, actually.
It was like, Park Avenue was the cup game, wasn't it? Or
Anyway, Guiseley have to put one last effort into this game with the last minute of injury time ahead of them. Stephen Drench lofts one from the goal area. It's headed away towards Adam Boys, who can't get this one down. Danny Boschel collects. Worcester full of energy, closing down still, even at this late stage. Gavin Rothery sends the ball out to the left-hand side. Forrest picks it up, runs to the full-back, gets it into the area, escapes the goalkeeper and the defender, rather. The goalkeeper, Jose Vega, watches it go underneath the defender's foot, watches it well, claims the ball, and the last chance goes. Really, I think that's the way it feels.
Well, lessons from today. I think Adam Boys has looked a lot more influential since he's come into the centre of the park in the second half. I don't think it worked very well for him out on the left in the first. At the same time, Danny Forrest has looked more dangerous on the left than Boys was in the first half. I think Gavin Rothery's grown into the defensive midfield position as the game goes on, but I'd still like to see Jack Ray back in the team as soon as he's available.
Rothery plays the ball into the area from a throw-in, and there's nobody on the end of it. 399 fans here this afternoon. They've not been treated to a spectacle. Worcester are grafting out 3 points, which will help them continue to get clear of that bottom three. Guiseley are slumping to defeat. And by my reckoning, the 4 minutes of stoppage are over, except for whatever the referee wants to add on for stoppages within the stoppages. Stephen Drench launches it forward one last time, up towards Adam Boys. Boys gets it down, plays it out to the left-hand side. Danny Forrest, can he get this ball into the area? He can. It goes up towards the back post, swirls in the air, headed away. Andy Holdsworth helps it back in there. Nobody on the end of it. Wayne Brooksby, perhaps one last chance. Brooksby's bundled over, free kick to Guiseley. 3 yards from the edge of the D, central. As literally as the last chance saloon, this.
Yeah, this is well over the initially added time. It is the minimum. It is a minimum of 4 minutes. They always say it, but this will be the last bit. The referee looks like he's willing to count out the 10 yards and line up a wall and give the time for it to be taken. But then that surely will be it. And Stephen Drench is up here.
Stephen Drench was looking to take the free kick, isn't he?
I couldn't blame him if so. I think he's our best. He's our best set piece taker, actually. I think. But.
So we've got the last. Well, this has got to be the last kick of the game. 5 minutes into stoppage of 4. Stephen Drench is going out to take a right back position at the moment. The ball blasted in by Rhys Maynell. Goes past everyone, takes a deflection. Referee will blow the whistle. The corner can't be taken. It's bitter defeat again for Guiseley. The third in the row now for the Lions, and the season is slightly falling apart somewhat after such a long unbeaten run. It finished today, Guiseley 0, Worcester 1. The goal coming from Aaron Brown on 51 minutes, and in truth I think it's a reasonable reflection of the game, Nick.
Yeah, I agree. In the first half, Guiseley had the better possession. They didn't make lots of clear-cut chances though. And then in the second half, Worcester were the better team. They did exactly what Mark Bauer said they would do in the week to the Telegraph and Argus in the interview he gave. He said they'd get some height up front, they'd have physical presence, and they did that and they made the most of it. I mean, Aaron Brown was superb in the second half. The further he pushed on, the more influential he became. So no, I don't begrudge Worcester the 3 points today. And from a Guiseley point of view, This is a new experience for Mark Bauer. You know, he took over a failing team, and he had that time on his side where, until he had the players in that he wanted and he'd readjusted, he sort of got a free pass for that first period. Well, he's got a team full of good players and a strong squad now, and they've hit a slump. And so it's up to him to motivate and make better use of the guys that he's got, know their best positions, and get back to that strongest 11 that he was fairly fixed on all the way through that good run. Because it's not just as simple as go out and buy some more players. It's actually about making sure that with the injuries or fitness problems and all the different things you've got on the go, that you pick the best 11 you possibly can for a game, and everyone in a position they'll be good at, and try and make sure that you're giving yourself every chance of getting 3 points. And all I mean by that really is that Ollie Johnson was never going to last 90 minutes today on a pitch like this, we know. Adam Boys is clearly not a left winger, and I'm sure Mark will look at that and learn from it for Tuesday.
Well, let's hope so. We'll be back hopefully Tuesday night weather permitting, for the big derby, Harrogate Town here at Nethermore. Let's hope the scoreline, if the weather allows us, also is better than this evening, but this afternoon. But it's finished here, Guiseley 0, Worcester City 1, and we'll see you again on Tuesday.